This version of It's Eric Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
It's Eric Nagel. And it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Eric Nagel.
Well, thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. I am Eric Nagel, and over there in the frozen tundra known as Arizona is my pal Jordan.
Hi, buddy.
How are you?
Yeah, it's actually kind of nice outside.
That wasn't.
It's gonna warm up soon, so
I had a drop that I wanted to play to introduce you, and it didn't fire. That sucks. Because I was trying to cut you off for this. Oh, now it's playing. Here it is.
Hey, what's up, my...
That's my friend Tukey. So
I love that clip.
I was thinking I'm going to use that clip every time I introduce you now because that seems appropriate.
That's great.
We have stuff going on.
Thing I'll be associated with.
Yes. You're getting sucked into this world, my friend. A bunch of stuff to get into in just a moment. But first, if you're listening to us on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to us at another time on demand, Apple, Spotify, anywhere that you're getting your on-demand content, do us a kindness and go over there and leave us a positive review. It does help out the program, the algorithm, all that nonsense that seems to be important nowadays. It does help. We have seen the numbers improving on all of that stuff, so thank you for doing that. If you haven't yet, please go over there and do so. If you're going to join us live each and every week as we're doing the show, hop into our live rooms over on Twitch and on YouTube, both under It's Eric Nagel. You can find us there and be part of the program. All right, Jordan is here. Jordan is tired. Jordan went out to a concert last night. He went to go see one of his top favorite bands of all time. Of course, I'm talking about the K-pop sensation Blackpink. He was out there with his phone going crazy, listening to How You Like That, and lost his voice. Hopefully, he's going to recoup and get most of his voice back here today.
So much Korean last night. It was amazing. No, not quite, but
I wish you would have rather have gone to that because it sounds like that would have been more entertaining than what you went to see.
What I went to was very entertaining.
Okay.
For me. Enough. I mean, you may not. Well, I mean, you may like.
I didn't have to go, so it didn't matter what I thought.
I was going to say, yeah, you're happy anyway. Yeah. Last night I went to. It has been talked about that one of my favorite bands is Coheed and Cambria. And,
it is.
It is. And so the lead singer, Claudio, has kind of a side project that he's been working on for the last probably 20 years.
Was this the one that I saw at New York Comic Con?
Claudio Sanchez, yes, with big hair. Probably had it pulled back, but yeah, usually it's all out.
He's doing comic books and...
He does comic books. He writes stories. He's got kids' books. He does music. He produces. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, he's even got... you can't see it now. NECA action figures from his characters, Coheed and Cambria. So he
sparked up a deal with Randy, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a, who's who of nerdery. Like he's got a lot of stuff out there. And his side project's called The Prize Fighter Inferno. They have never done anything live, not once. And in the 20 years that he's been putting music out for this little side project, never once performed it live. He's decided to go on the road, do about 2 weeks of shows, and one of them happened to be here in Phoenix. And, I had to go. So I bought tickets.
You had to go.
Had to go.
You were forced at gunpoint to go to this concert.
Yeah, well, it is Phoenix, so I had to go. I was just in the neighborhood, and they made me go in. So, yeah, I got to go see them perform live. It's just him and his wife, Chandra. She is doing, side vocals. It was fun. It was a really good time. Very small club here in Phoenix.
How can one Chandra be so Levy?
God, I haven't heard that.
It's a fantastic song. Even though that's a dated reference, it's still a great song.
Very dated. So I'm like, oh, this.
All right, come on, Jordan. Let's get back to business. Go ahead.
So went to that show. Very small club. Very fun. However, I'm tired. I'm tired, and mainly not because I stayed out late. I'm used to being up late. We talk late. We hang out late. I'm tired because I had to stand for 3 or 4 hours because I got there. So they had
there were no seats.
It was a very standing room only, small little club.
Okay.
And I had.
Wouldn't it be great for those tiny little clubs if they just had rows of folding chairs, like the ones that lock that they put in the front rows of wrestling or football or something, where it's not just one chair, it's the whole row. and they're just
That would be
lined up almost like a church gathering, and you're all sitting there watching a band play.
Well, this club was so small, it would be cool. Like in the back, they just put like bleachers that you would have like at a high school football game, just like 3 rows of bleachers. You're just sitting there. But they had 2 different tiers of VIP for these shows. First VIP gets in, go meet Claudio. You get your little merch stuff, get a couple signatures, shake hands, talk a little bit, and then you're good. Second tier was my tier. Because the first tier sold out, I got to go in, got a little lanyard thing. And then we get to see them perform one song that they're not going to do for the show, just for like the 30 or 40 people that got in. And then we wait. And this was all like, we got there at like 5:45. I didn't get let in until almost, I would say 7. And the show didn't even start till 8.
Why did you get there so early, like an old person for their like the blue plate special? The
VIPs got let in at 6. So my brother was with me. He got tickets for the VIP, so he got let in at 6 to go do the meet and greet. I got let in at was supposed to be let in around 6:30. I didn't get into about 6:45, almost 7.
Wait, so he left? You went together and he left you there?
Yeah,
to go to the meet and greet, which you didn't have tickets to?
No, I had the second tier VIP, so I had to wait a little bit longer.
Who bought the tickets?
He bought his ticket. I bought mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
if he bought the tickets,
together.
only one pass for him. No, that is a dick move.
Yeah, no, if he did it at the same time and said, no, thank you, double middle fingers, I probably wouldn't have went. I would have been pissed off about it. But
as hilarious as that would have been for everyone else hearing that story, that's horrible for you.
So, yeah, I ended up going to that. And then, this whole time, like from 5:45 until we left the show, I'm standing this entire time. And it starts to get a little like, okay, my back's starting to hurt. I'm doing stretches between sets. Like I'm like trying to like bend at the knee. It was miserable. Like I am getting too old to just be standing that entire time, which sounds like a very weird complaint, but yeah, it was bad. And
so do you need orthopedics now?
I was so happy
your calves
to be able to sit in the car. No, my lower back. and it's been like that all day long. So
I've seen people walking around in Manhattan and walking through the train station, get on the train that I'm on, and I hear them complaining about their calves and their shins and stuff.
So much,
walking around or not having the right, I guess, shoes or something, and finding out over the years that they had to get like special inserts or orthopedic shoes or whatever because of the way they're walking. And I was just wow,
like your shoes are really wearing out a certain way. Yeah. No, so. I had a good time. It's one of those things where it's like I've realized that I don't need to be standing that entire time. And all the other concerts I'm going to the rest of this year, thankfully, have seating. So I'm like, I get to be the old man and sit for a little bit and do all that stuff.
Wait, aren't you going back to the When We Were Young thing again?
Yeah, but I can sit there. Like this last year.
They have seats in that giant place?
No, it's all grass and there's spots.
Oh, you're going to camp down like a dirty hippie.
Yeah, just hang down. Yeah.
Okay.
So I won't be standing the whole time there, but yeah, this was a wake-up call for me. It's like, if it's a small club and I got to stand the whole time, I probably will skip the shows. Even though it was fun,
right?
It would be hard to convince me to do it again.
Well, you're going to do it many other times.
Other places with seating.
That's not seating. Sitting on the ground is not seating. That is
the only... But see, that's the only one. That's the only one that I won't have like seats for. And even then, they do have benches and tables in some spots, and there's places to sit. All the other concerts I have like seats for.
Right.
Oh God, except for Limp Bizkit. Damn it. Never mind. I'm going to be miserable in August. I can't wait to tell that story.
All right. You're going to see Limp Bizkit, and are they opening for Corey Feldman, or is Corey Feldman opening for them?
Wouldn't that be bad if you're opening for Corey Feldman? No, it's Corey Feldman opening for them, and it's like some other bands that I don't know anything about.
You never know.
And that's going to be a long week for me, so that's going to be a fun day of complaining. Jesus. So stay tuned for August. That's going to be a real riot.
Do you think he's going to be out once his set is done? He'll be sitting out in a folding table like Virgil used to with his Funko Pops that nobody bought. You think he'll be out there, or is he too big that he'll have merch people handling his stuff and he won't be out there? If he was smart doing this kind of tour that he lucked into, I would be out there before Limp Bizkit and maybe the first couple of songs of Limp Bizkit out there just signing and selling whatever I could.
When we went to see him back this last year, he was trying to sell like box sets of his past music, and it's like 10 discs, and I think one person bought it. Oh. You could see that one person because you get the instant meet and greet. And
how much?
As soon as his show was done,
they?
Everyone was out. I don't know. I didn't even think about going back to look. Damn. I went nowhere near the merch table at that show. I was like, I don't want anything from that.
You missed out. You should have. You should have walked over there just to take a look. I'm sure
there'll be
tables.
stuff. I'm sure there'll be stuff there.
And
but
if you're going to that concert,
an ungodly amount.
Anyone out there, if you're going to any of those concerts, those concert dates, and Corey is not outside after his set selling, signing, photos, whatever, I got to talk to the guys at the bonfire because they're really obsessed with Corey Feldman. They need to start a movement. Like if he doesn't do the first show or the second show, there has to be an online trending push that Corey has to come out to the merch table and sign and take photos and all that stuff and just publicly humiliate him into doing it. Because he's not humiliated doing everything else he's been doing, but this might actually do it. We want Corey out there. Warren Peace in the chat saying the box set was $140.
I'm telling you, he had like 20 years worth of old music. Like it was kind of embarrassing.
What a garbage person he is.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'll never see him again. And now he's playing with Limp Bizkit. I was like, damn it, I got to go see him again.
So ridiculous.
That's a show that we may end up showing up late. It's on a Friday. It's in the middle of Phoenix. It's the middle of summer. We just may show up an hour late, go get wings.
Why don't you just go get wings and not go to the show? That sounds like a better time. Because I can't imagine Limp Bizkit's any good.
I've seen some footage. They put on a good show still.
Is everybody back in there?
Yeah, Wes Borland's in it. He's in it. I mean, I don't know. I think those are the two names. Like, I don't know anybody else in the band.
Because I know he left, and then the band faded away. It didn't matter if Fred was still there. I think once he left, the band started.
Well, Wes Borland did his
off.
own thing. Like he was producing music and doing some other stuff. And then I know Fred Durst went off and started making movies. Like he directed like
he did an episode or two of House. He was the bartender on House that House would go and talk to.
Yeah. So Fred Durst wanted to direct movies for a hot minute. And then, and then they came back and started doing music again.
I haven't heard any of their new stuff. Have they put out new stuff or are they just doing
They did one. I think they put out a new one like last year, like early last year.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look for that. I'll look for new Limp Bizkit. I need something else.
What a weird sentence to say.
I know. I need something else new to listen to because I am drowning in 3 different songs that are replaying over and over and over.
When
I have the kid around. For those of you on the radio and stuff, I don't know if the radio heard it. I know the live streams heard it. On Demand doesn't have it. We started the show off with a cover of "Let It Go" from Frozen by who is the band? I should give them credit. It was
it sounded pretty good.
The Last Sleepless City. I think they're a British group. I'm not 100% sure. I played that because now that has become the third song in her repetition of playing things over and over. It was Baby Shark. Then it was You're Welcome from Moana. Now it's Let It Go from Frozen. She's also figured out how to talk to Alexa. And she is constantly having fights with Alexa because she still speaks a little bit of gibberish. So not all the time does Alexa understand her. So she gets very frustrated and starts yelling at Alexa and not knowing the commands to talk to Alexa. Finally, she's starting to figure it out. She's understanding like the color coding, like the rings around it and stuff for when it's listening, when it's not.
Right.
She slows down. She tells Alexa, and then it's just nonstop to the point that I didn't know this was a feature. If you play the same song over and over and over, not even on repeat, just requesting it over and over, Alexa learns and then says, "Would you like to add this song on repeat?" She didn't know what that was. And then I guess said yes at one point, and that song just kept going and going and going. It's like of hearing The Rock sing You're Welcome. There are worse songs to have stuck playing over and over. Baby Shark. But you're welcome. Not that bad. But after hearing it about a dozen times, you get like, all right, can we play something else? Now it's Frozen. And if I need to cleanse the palate, maybe I need to go seek out some new Limp Bizkit. Quote.
That'll definitely clear it out.
I know. I also may make that a show title. I need to listen.
I need to find new Limp Bizkit.
To new Limp Bizkit. Yeah. Well, I'll figure out something like that. Because that's not something, you're right, that a person normally says.
Or should say.
So you went to this event. You had a good time. You realized you're old and outdated, and standing is just not for you. You were using your legs like a sucker, and you can't be doing that anymore. So going forward, you're just going to be one with the ground, no matter where you're at, and that will be your permanent seat.
I'll stand in most cases, but if I can sit for a little bit, rest it up.
Here's where I'll give you permission. You can you can sit wherever you want, whenever you want, except for the national anthem. You have to stand for that. I will not tolerate anything less. Telling you, you got to do it, or you're just a communist piece of garbage. So you went to an event. You're going to festivals. People know what they're getting for the most part when they go to these festivals. The last time they didn't know what they were getting, I think it was Fyre Fest. That was a disaster. And then there was something else that was close to becoming unofficially the new Fyre Fest. Was it Coachella?
No, it was Burning Man, remember? Where the rain came in and all that
and
mud.
They were all stuck in the mud, and cars were like sinking into the ground, and they had to be rescued and all of that stuff. So, all right, so Burning Man. Wow, that was not that long ago.
Summer. Yeah.
So now we're at, I don't know if it reaches the level of an atrocity like the other two. But we have another event that can be added to the list of people paying and going to see something that they were expecting one thing and got something completely different. Hoodwinked, if you will. Bamboozled. Shenanigans were at play. Do you want to explain to people what I'm talking about here?
So, just recently, there was an ad. An AI-generated ad, I might add, advertising the Willy Wonka experience. I believe this was set in Scotland.
Because when you think Willy Wonka, you think Scotland.
Right. And I think tickets were like $40 to $60. It was to advertise as an experience, a huge walkthrough, tons of stuff. Unfortunately, when people showed up, that's not what they got. I was going to say, do you have pictures?
I do have pictures here.
Okay.
What did they get?
So, basically, people who attended the Willy Wonka inspired chocolate experience, which is completely different in Eric's
from
world.
Other chocolate experiences.
It's just chocolate rain.
I think iHeart owns that name, but go ahead.
They were promised extraordinary props, oversized lollipops, and a parade of sweet treats. Unfortunately, when they arrived at the event, they found a sparsely decorated warehouse with nothing resembling the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory franchise. Here's a quote. "It was just ridiculous. I mean, very amateurish. Absolutely nothing like what was described."
Right.
People were paying, £35 per ticket or $44. For the sake of my children, we were trying to be happy and smiley, so they wouldn't pick up on the disappointment, and they just tried to make the best of a bad situation.
Oh, no. All right. I'll bring up some photos here as you talk about that. Look at this. Now,
looks like an old warehouse, like airplane hangar.
Now, here's where else that leads to their disappointment. Obviously, one, the movie, the original movie, fantastic. Right. The second one, I haven't seen the third one, but I've heard mixed reviews. I will go see the third one at some point. I just haven't seen it yet.
You won't, and segment 2 will tell you why.
Oh, noes. All right. So you have those 3 movies. Then, for those of you who are YouTube savvy, Mr. Beast, probably the most famous YouTuber in the world, he loves to spend lavish amounts of money to build unique scenarios, sets, props, whatever. Most of the time, usually for a good cause. I just saw one. He did a kennel for 100 cages for these dogs. and they were doing a whole thing to get these dogs adopted. And over a course of a few days, spent like 50, 100 grand in advertising, had trucks driving around, had billboards for whatever area in California he was doing this. And people would come in and they said no fees to come and adopt the dog. And then they're working with an official, I don't want to say kennel, but I guess an adoption agency, so that, everything's free, but you come in and you go through the right paperwork. They got to get approved to take the dog, all the safety precautions.
Like a humane society or something.
And as people were adopting the dogs, they didn't realize at the end when they're going to check out, I guess,
Dogs exploded.
That would be hilarious. No, that all of a sudden he would surprise these people. Like, they all didn't see it. They were in private rooms when this happened, with these giant checks for like lifetime pet insurance, lifetime dog food from these companies. Like, he worked with all these companies. It was pretty awesome. Dave Bautista apparently is a good friend of his. They called him in one day when things were getting a little slow, just so Bautista's there. And you get to meet Bautista and adopt a dog, and
Bautista's a huge dog lover. Like, every dog he's had, he's adopted. In fact, I think he's just got pit bulls, like 2 right? more. Yeah.
So he was part of it. Like, it was a big deal. Anyway, point being, Mr. Beast does these lavish promotional events, and one of them he did was recreate the chocolate factory in a sense. Made it almost like a game show, a little Squid Game-ish. And then everybody won prizes and stuff. Like, it was meant to be like a game show kind of thing, but really well done, well executed. Seeing the movies, you're hearing a Willy Wonka experience. I want to go see that. I would go see that. Like, if I saw one in New York, or if you were in London and saw it, yeah, why wouldn't you? You would definitely want to go check it out.
Oh yeah.
So this is what you get when they walk in. This is what they see.
Yeah, so basically attendees started seeing all this, immediately began posting their experiences online, called it underwhelming and a scam, and started calling the police by Saturday afternoon. So I guess this opened up, and then within a day, the experience was canceled, and local police were called to the scene after attendees who felt conned began demanding refunds.
Yeah, I'd be pissed if I saw this, because they probably spent a decent amount. I'm guessing $50 a ticket or something, at least.
Like 45. All
right, so around there.
A ticket.
All right, so you get in there, and it's essentially, it looks like the TV set of MASH. This is right when you're either walking into the little mess tent that they have, or going into the operating tent. So you have this, and then I've never seen any of these patterns in Willy Wonka. It looks more Alice in Wonderland-like.
I was just going to say, it's very Wonderland-ish.
But let's take our bed sheets and make a fort pathway, to where the couch cushions are, and that'll be the actual chocolate factory.
And they have mirrors, like those tall, behind the door mirrors you have in a dorm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, zoom in. Look at those. They're just placed randomly in there.
So you're getting blinded by the sun and cooked as you're going down through this psychedelic pattern hallway. Oh, my God. What is this?
That's a meth Oompa Loompa.
It certainly looks that. She looks thrilled to be there.
It supposedly, there was an interview with her that she was supposed to be handing out candy to kids, but ran out immediately. So she was rationing one tiny piece, say a Smartie per kid.
Are they trying to make this look like the lab of how he would come up with the concoctions, like the whatever the thing that he drank where he would start floating up into the exhaust fan, the fizzy. So this is supposed to be like the lab.
Yeah, except it looks like Breaking Bad.
It does. And was that a toilet brush? What is this?
It looks like a toilet brush.
And this is where they tie off for the meth. Wow.
It's an Erlenmeyer flask.
She looks miserable.
She looks bad.
Whoa.
Yeah, see, there we go. Look at that. Hey, remember when you were done playing rec league basketball and all the moms set up lemonade stands? That was their juice.
Were they selling this, or was this included refreshments?
I believe it was included because there's no one manning the station.
Well, there's this gummy bear here. He seems to be on the up and up.
That's a cocaine
He's on patrol
bear.
for this. He's a company bear. All right. That's not even
that is
soda.
horrifying.
That's not even anything
It
bubbly.
looks like maybe Sprite or like maybe
it looks like
Could
water.
you imagine it was just like sparkling water, but not flavored?
What if it's tonic? It's not even drinkable water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
What is it? Is this the food court? What is this? There's a bouncy house.
yep. That's. I think that's after you exit the exhibit.
Hey,
is so
hope you
bad.
had fun. Enjoy the bouncy house on the way out.
No shoes. So basically, so that's one of the.
Isn't that Candyland? Isn't
It
that like
looks like
artwork from the
Candyland, actually.
Candyland game?
Or that land that was in Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, for Vanellope Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, it's not even hung
Doesn't
up.
even cover the wall. It's like tacked on.
It's a support blanket.
That's it's the same kind of like size like tapestry, if you will, that like college kids would put up in their dorm rooms for like Woodstock 99 or something. Oh, that is. Oh, there's your
yeah.
chocolate river.
Ew.
Oh, it's just like wooden planks that are painted brown.
It's like pine needles floating in it. Is that bricks here at the bottom?
It might be.
Well, there's something here that says chocolate bar. So, I mean, this is the first thing I've seen that looks anything like Willy Wonka.
Those are the photo op areas where you take pictures in front of the giant lollipops and mushrooms.
And then, on Saturday, it's Willy Wonka. On Sunday, it's Alice in Wonderland. They just turn the chocolate bar around, and it's a giant card for the, what is it, Queen of Hearts?
Yeah. And by Monday, it's back to being in an old World War II plane museum because it looks like it's in a hangar.
Turkish John in the chat saying that's where 80% of the budget went.
Right?
Tom saying, is this the chocolate wastewater treatment facility? Oh.
This is what happens after Augustus Gloop went through the tubes.
They're like, we got to get some kind of chocolate river going here. Oh, get that puddle that's full of oil and shit from behind the building there. Let's just dump it into that.
Yeah, make it shiny.
What is this?
Just more open area for people to congregate.
You had all this area, and that's the area that they...
That's the area. Oh, my God. Wait, hold on. Zoom in. Warehouse. Oh, my God. It's the warehouse bar. I think that's the exit.
Warehouse box hub. So I'm guessing over here is that jumping house?
Maybe. Yeah, I think that's what it is that we were seeing a different view.
This is the entrance to there. Oh, and there's the table with the lack of beverages. What is this? Why is there a rainbow? Was there any rainbow in Willy Wonka that I don't remember?
Not that I know of.
No, right?
I mean, it certainly wasn't like a focal point where you would need a giant rainbow prop to sell the candy factory.
Oh my goodness! What is that?
Is that
bag?
a bag
It's
of
like a popcorn
candy?
bag, like at the movie theater,
Is
or
that
peanut
fruit
bag.
stripe gum? That's been discontinued.
Some of this stuff's not even set up. Look, it's just laying there.
Like what? Is
These
it just
mushroom
a
tops are not
box?
added to the stems. They're just laying there.
Yeah, because the promoter didn't put these photos out. People saw this as they were walking out. Wow. It just gets worse with each photo.
And this was how much? 50, 45?
Like $45 American to get in. Wow. Keep
All right,
going.
this
So,
kind of this piping thing
a little bit. Very
kind of works.
industrial.
Everything else doesn't go here.
So I guess two actors that were hired for the event were promised 500 pounds to perform in themed costumes that weekend. Each said that the script they were given appeared AI generated because if it's all gibberish wording. And when they showed up for rehearsal Friday night, more alarm bells went off. One of the actors heard back the same day that he applied to the acting gig, which was listed on the job site. He showed up to rehearse the day before the event. The warehouse still looked bare bones beyond a few props, and he said the costumes weren't delivered until rehearsal was nearly over. Things didn't look much better when he arrived the next morning. And he quotes, "I thought this is where dreams go to die," he said of the reaction walking into the warehouse. "I already could feel the embarrassment. I knew the script was AI generated as well. It was like it wasn't normal human writing."
This has to be
Look at the B. Like, just gave up.
I know. I'm sitting there. I'm like, there's no B in any of this. This has to be some kind of prank, right?
I don't know.
This is like almost like a Black Mirror episode. You know, it's like a combination of the first episode where they blackmailed the prime minister to having sex with a pig.
Right.
And then the other episode that I think had something to do with Wi-Fi. Some guy was using this free Wi-Fi to jerk off and they were taping him. So they made him do all this.
Yeah. And it was like, turns out like other people were being caught doing stuff.
Yeah, everyone was blackmailed. Yeah. I think. Yeah, this is fucking creepy. All right. Apparently, there's the Willy Wonka guy.
Oh,
that's
nice.
the guy who's singing, supposed to sing Pure Imagination, and apparently he just took off with all the money and went to a concert.
What's wrong with his arms?
I don't know.
Just fucking stiff.
Too many schnozberries, probably. Yeah, this is horrific. I feel terrible that people had to deal with this, but also I don't. Like, if you found stuff online, just like an AI generated thing, and you fell for that, it's kind of yeah. But I'm not. Look, if people are dumb enough to buy things, that's one thing. If you're knowingly trying to scam people, I feel really bad for those people that fell for it.
Yeah, because you got people like
Did it say
like,
how many
all their kids?
Did it say how many tickets were sold?
No, and none of the articles say what they ended up making for that. I'm sure there's going to be refunds involved. There has to be.
Well, you said there were arrests, right?
No, the police came and shut it down because a lot of the people were basically mobbing the whole thing, trying to get refunds, and no one was issuing any. So I'm sure there's going to be some follow up.
Okay.
There was some video that I saw on TikTok. I'll see if I can find better versions of it, but people were walking through just exactly that. And you didn't have the other picture. So the actor playing Willy Wonka was trying to get these kids to, feel like they're actually having fun. And they go to one of those stand-up mirrors, and from behind the mirror, this dark long-haired person in a silver weird mask.
Let me see if I can
peeks
find
out.
it.
And Willy Wonka goes, "Oh no, it's the unknown," and like starts going off on some weird spiel.
And there were kids screaming, right?
There was no reason for this character to exist. It was like they needed a villain to be in the factory. Completely made up, completely new, and it was just weird. Just like it's like a silver masked creature. Let me see if I can find.
I got it here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to switch this out. Hold on a second. Yeah, I found it. The guy looks like
looks like a serial killer, or should be in Slipknot.
I was gonna say he looks like Destro. From old G.I. Joe in the 80s here. All right, let's see if we can get this going. Why is this not? Oh, because that's not there. There we go. All right.
Oh my! What is that? It's the Ender.
Listen to the disappointment. No,
it's the Ender.
Yeah, there's no. That's the longest one I could find right now.
Yeah, like what is that supposed to be?
I don't know.
That was weird.
This is like. It kind of also looks like when Sting went to TNA and couldn't use a lot of the WCW look that he had. He had to make up something new.
That mask is where they spent the rest of the budget.
Right. Warren P says it's a Death Eater. LTP saying, I love the unknown. It's probably like the modern day... what was the character in WCW where he's wearing the glitter Star Wars mask and he falls through the set?
Oh my God.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I know who I can see it. I don't know. I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
If you don't, go back and look it up for yourself. I can't do all the work for you. All right. Well, I feel terrible for that. Hilarious story, but very dangerous too, because they haven't found the people who were responsible for this, right?
I I think they have a company that was doing, but the guy who was running that company has completely wiped all his social media and all his other stuff. So yeah, he's either wiping it because he's getting in trouble or wiping it to get out of being in trouble.
Apparently, the AI generated website had a bunch of typos.
It's all AI.
So nobody bothered to look. Let's see here. For the Willy Wonka's chocolate experience website, there are missing apostrophes and garbled terms like Karchi turns and catgatting. Catgatching. CATGACATING. Most organizations take time to proofread what they advertise. Scammers who often have poorly designed websites, numerous spelling errors, or a lack of social media presence, which seem to be a red flag for the Wonka experience.
Wait, this page says Jeebus.
Oh, apparently Visa's involved too.
Oh, Visa.
Yeah. So Visa's involved in the investigation on this. Keep tabs on this, please. I would love to know that if this was like some weird kind of fucking, like somewhere along the lines, this might be a new way to scam people with AI and considered like some kind of digital terrorism or something.
So I guess the company that put it on was called House of Illuminati, which should have been a red flag. I guess they're the ones that organized the event. They had issued an apology.
That's a better name, the 4chan Carnival.
Right. They've issued an apology and claimed it will issue refunds.
All right.
So we'll see.
Still, a public hanging might make up for all of this. I think so, right? It's like
it is Scotland. I mean,
yeah, but if they take the time to rebuild a very proper interior set of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and then just have a hanging of the people who scammed everybody,
ropes in the shape of a noose.
I think that there you go. I think that makes everything okay. Or if they're hung up, and then those things that used to be on like psychiatrist desks where you click the balls and they go back and forth.
the perpetual motion.
Guys hanging in the middle and they just have giant metal balls swinging, but they're painted like gobstoppers or jawbreakers or something.
And they have to sit there.
They don't have the cruel and unusual punishment law over there. At least
they have to be. Their hanging has to be serenaded by a group of tiny people dressed as Oompa Loompas singing songs like they did in the old movie.
They do. And then when he's smashed to death, you take him down, you stuff him, and then you make haggis.
Oompa Loompa doopity dee. For your crimes, you'll hang from this tree.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm all about that. Let's make that happen. All right.
Put it on.
Moving on to other horrible things here. More layoffs are coming to the entertainment industry, to the gaming industry, to anything that you enjoy in this world. All of a sudden you start saying, oh, record profits. We need to lay off 900 people from our corporation. Yep. What? Why? Yeah, because, we made this money now, but in order to make that money, if not more, for the next quarter or for the next year, we got to let these people go here because our profits can't go down. We can't even just, be semi-profitable. We have to be more profitable each year, or what's the point of the company? Or let everybody go that would make you money in the future and then wonder why your company doesn't have any money. And then it's like, oh, we got to do more layoffs and cutbacks and stuff. I hate all of them. It's just weird when you're constantly being told by the government, unemployment is down and there's more jobs available and all this stuff's going here. But then every company that people like, you can't just walk into a video game company. You have to have graphic design experience, coding experience, motion capture. Like, there's all different levels of things. And a lot of these people, I don't want to say certified, but have degrees, and then had advanced certification after that to maintain with the computer language, the technology, all of that stuff going on there. Right. It's a constantly evolving process. And you're letting these people go for what? To stretch everybody else really thin, and then when they quit, then we'll just get entry level people. You're not going to have any games that anybody who's going to want to play going forward. Yeah, no, I know, and it sucks because it's hitting every corner. 2 weeks ago we were talking, and with Microsoft laying off and things like that, and now we've got companies like EA. They're cutting 5% of their workforce. Do you think they got in there and they had emails and it's like, we regret to inform you that you're no longer in the game? And then they turn around, they're like, what? And there's a security guard at their cubicle ready to walk them out. Just pick up your bag. We'll mail everything home.
I think they also said what, because mainly most of the young crowd that worked there didn't even know that advertising exists. Because I don't know the last time they did EA Sports, it's in the game.
Well, we have an older audience. We got to cater to everybody. We can't just shoot low and to the new people like all modern radio does now. It's just like, oh, old people don't exist or older people don't exist. We got to talk about stuff that's really riz. And you're like, no, I'm not using that word.
I will not.
Your show is mid. Do you understand that one? Yeah.
No cap.
Okay.
Yeah, so Electronic Arts announced that it is laying off approximately 5% of its employees, that it leans in on parts of the business it feels will be most successful in the years to come, estimating the job losses around 670 people.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, cuts are just one part of the company's restructuring plan, which includes closing some of the offices and sunsetting certain live games like the previously announced shutdown of the MLB Tap Sports and F1 Mobile Racing. I had no idea what those were.
I didn't... With the exception of some titles, EA was predominantly a sports game company, right?
EA at first used to be predominantly sports.
Don't they have the Madden license?
Madden Sports. I think they're putting out their
Major League Baseball was another one, or did they have the show?
No, that's Sony.
Sony has the show?
Yeah, I believe it's Santa Monica Studios.
So EA has the official MLB license.
Right. Well, no, EA doesn't have that license. It's the show is put out by, I think, Sony Santa Monica, but they've licensed it out to other companies now. So you can get the show. Yeah.
Don't get distracted. Keep going. Be professional.
So MLB, I think, has licenses with EA as well.
Turkish John in chat saying EA has Star Wars licensing.
Right, which is done by a company through EA called
Don't they have something new coming out?
They canceled. Well, they just put out last year. They put out Star Wars, the sequel to that, the first one, Jedi Survivor or Jedi Order or something like that.
Don't they have some of those, I don't know if they're RPG games or whatever, but some of the older Star Wars games that people love, aren't they revamping them and putting them out again?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
The one that is going to survive, they said they're still going to be working on it. That's through, I think, BioWare, which is an EA company. Mass Effect, the remake of Mass Effect is still coming. They canceled the first-person Star Wars license that they were working on based off of The Mandalorian.
Okay.
So that is being canceled completely. And they said they're still going to put out the next Jedi game because those two have been wildly successful. And those were being done by a company called Respawn, who did, what was that mech game? Titanfall. They did Titanfall. So those are surviving. A lot of those other games, though, are being canceled and they're what they're calling sunsetting some of those live service games. So they're basically saving server space, taking away some of the multiplayer online aspects of other games and things like that to kind of do that.
I also saw here too, it says moving away from development of future licensed IP that we do not believe will be successful in our changing industry.
Which is, like I said, some of that Star Wars game that was doing that. So, yep, EA. It
sucks. I knew people who used to work in EA like back in the early 2000s and stuff. And then I remember somewhere around there, 2000 to 2003, somewhere in there, they had a bunch of layoffs again, too. I think some of them were based out of Orlando.
Okay.
Some of them were in Florida and what have you.
I know they had some Texas studios, too, because the Madden license used to be done exclusively by EA Tiburon.
Right.
I know FIFA just
Is he
stopped.
In the game?
No.
Okay.
No longer. He's just eating turkey.
Gotcha.
It's a mini game.
All right.
The FIFA license just stopped. They stopped doing FIFA. So this last soccer game they just put out was an actual like EA, type of soccer game without like the actual FIFA licensing involved. So
right.
They're doing a lot of different restructuring, but they are not the only ones to be doing this. PlayStation is laying off 900 employees, or 8% of their workforce.
Not to be outdone.
Yeah. The approximately 900 Sony Interactive Entertainment employees, or 8% of PlayStation's global workforce, is being cut across the Americas, the EMEA, I don't know what that is, Japan,
European,
and the APAC region.
Something.
Okay,
agreement.
and then APAC regions. Several studios, including PlayStation's London studio, will shutter. So they completely gutted an entire London studio, which did a lot of like those music games like SingStar and all that stuff. They're cutting some of the Japanese market. The big ones that stood out to me was the studio that laid off, the studio that put out Spider-Man 2. They're cutting a lot of people. The studio
one of the rare things they had that was making like $1 billion for them.
It was one of the top games of last year. And then the studio that put out The Last of Us, they cut some of the people.
Again, another game that was doing gangbusters for them, and then had another resurgence once the TV show came out and was successful. I think we have some news for season 2. In segment.
It has started filming. They just announced a bunch of cast.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Turkish John in the chat. Sorry, real quick. EMEA is Europe and Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Formatting, marketing, all what have you there. Other companies, I know it's happening everywhere, but Girk's in the chat saying Xerox laid off 3,000 people.
Yeah.
Turkish John saying his company laid off 800, which was 10% of the company, and we're the number one satellite company in the industry.
So I've got a list, and I'm going to go through this real quick. So in February, these are the top companies that had layoffs. Electronic Arts, EA, PlayStation, Vice Media Group, BuzzFeed, Now This, Paramount Global, SiriusXM.
Yeah, I was going to say
Snapchat.
Sirius laid off people a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Snapchat had about 10% of their stuff done. Yesterday, February 29th, what was it? YouTube Music, which was through Google.
Right.
They laid off an entire group of people while they were talking at a Austin city council to complain about and pass an amendment or something to increase their pay and wages. And while they were doing this town hall, someone sent a text out that they had just been laid off while this was going on. It was insane. There's a link to video.
There's got to be some kind of law against that.
I don't know. But see, then January, they had other ones like TechCrunch, Business Insider, Microsoft Gaming, Riot Games, Sports Illustrated, YouTube, Universal Music Group, Discord, NBC News.
Oh, wait, hold on. The Universal Music Group, I saw that was this week, right?
No, it was in January. But there may have been more. I don't know.
No, there was something else that just happened with them. But remember, I think back in January, they just cut ties with TikTok.
Right.
And all these people who had videos, I'll just say like Taylor Swift, because she was under Universal Music. Universal Music Group, which is different than Universal, the movie company, TV company, all that.
NBC and all that, yeah.
If you all those girls out there or people doing stuff to dances, whatever with Taylor Swift stuff, your videos got muted or taken down because of her catalog being part of Universal Music Group, and it's not allowed to be played on TikTok anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, that's just one example. They have a massive catalog of artists whose music is not available anymore because TikTok is saying, well, they're being unfair with the what they're demanding for royalties, and then UMG is saying, well, they're being unfair with the royalties they're paying, and we're looking out for the artists. I've seen many artists go online to shit on Universal Music Group saying, oh, now they're concerned about what we're getting paid through TikTok and Spotify and all that other stuff here. And he's like, really? So I'm not seeing any of that money coming from UMG back to me based on their negotiations or their restructuring or whatever. So it was all bullshit.
Yeah, 100%.
Are we I hate to think this, but are we now entering a time? It's almost reflecting what it was 100 years ago. By the end of this decade, we may have like a massive stock market crash, or a massive industry crash of some sort. We're heading into a time where all these big corporations are somehow making pretty big profits since the pandemic. And they're letting more and more people go. Look, I understand when you got to let people go if you're not making money. It happens. That's the nature of industry. Or if they're looking to sell, or if there's a merger coming or something, they got to whittle it down so it looks attractive on paper to sell. These companies aren't selling themselves to other people. They're just getting rid of everything, not paying people, not taking care of their future investments. And then they're going to be wondering in the next couple of years, well, no, things are really bad. We got to let go even more people because we're not making the money. Because you let them go over the last couple of years, the ones who were creative and building towards a future of things where the next game that could make you $1 billion, you cut that whole team. They're gone.
Well, and it comes on the heels of you got big companies putting out these games that don't make any money and then they fail, like Suicide Squad and stuff like that. But then you've got smaller games that are being made that are charging $40 and are amazing, like HellDivers 2. And that's from a small company. That's a small little dev team that put that out. And it's taken over everything. It's everywhere. It's on my TikTok. I'm playing it. Our friend Rob won't talk to us anymore. He's just hell diving all day long.
That and the younger gentlemen that he's surrounding
the
himself
young lads.
Scotty Doohan in the chat here says, Eric, have you played Undisputed? It's an independent boxing game. It's going to be huge on release. I have not. I haven't looked. I'll look for it and see what it's about. But yeah, some of these other games coming out of nowhere, like the people who had HellDivers too, did not expect the influx of people to their game. So much so that the game came out and within 2 weeks, their shit was crashing all over the place.
Came out like the first week of February, like the 8th.
Right.
And by the end, right after Valentine's Day, it started to kind of pick up, and then the servers would crash.
That they were putting out apologies saying, look, you may not get on servers for the next couple of days. We got to do updates and repairs. We did not expect this kind of influx and for the game to be taken as well as it has. And you saw people online go, people who are dumb and don't understand, they go, well, screw this. Well, no, it's not working. This game, they suck. You're not good at your job. This company is horrible because they couldn't handle all this other. A lot of other people went, I just found this game. I love it. I can wait a few days for you to get the stuff running so I can go back there and play it. And they did. It took a few days.
Oh, sorry. It would sit there in the queue and just let it run and be like, if I get in, I get in. Right. And there'd be times where, I'd start it and then you and I, and we'd be talking and stuff like that. And it would finally let me in. I'm like, yeah, there we go. I'm going to go do some stuff.
But more people than not had the patience. They said, okay, do what you have to do because I want to get invested in this game. They got their stuff together that could handle the influx of people. And then because I know you sent me a website with a code, but I saw online people were finding these websites with certain promotional codes. They were freely passing it around, not like a bootleg kind of thing, but they're like, hey, guys, you're going to love this game. Go to this website. Here's a code to get it discounted and hop in. And the developer was supporting it. They were like, yes, spread the code around. Do what you can. Get people on the game. And if you go to Twitch, more times than not, on the front page is just a whole list of people playing HellDivers 2 right now.
Yeah.
But follow me in the chat saying HellDivers is great. Yeah, it is. I think it's a game I might go and hop in and play, but I think it's one of those games that I'm actually enjoying everybody else playing and I'll watch it rather than me play it. If that makes any sense.
No, there are some games that, it's fun to watch. I like the community that's building like all these little movies out of it because it's very like certain parts of it are very Starship Troopers and things like that. So people are like making these little mini movies. Freedom. Yeah, so much freedom and democracy.
Yeah. Drinking my democracy.
That's the one thing you hate the most. You're watching me play. You're like, wait, is that your team saying that, or is this the animation?
Yeah, it took me a little while to realize because I thought, I'm like, all right, who's doing all the puns? I'm like, all right, it's okay that they built it into the game. I'm fine with that. If people are saying that, seriously, that's a problem. But because it's in the game, and then my one of my online pals, Bruno, Bruno Diaz, go give him a follow on social media and on Twitch. Very fun to watch game. Him and his crew, they're constantly shitting on each other, sound clips, having fun, whatever. And they're constantly making mocks of the dialogue in the game and trying to improve on it by being even worse than what the game would say.
It's so funny.
It's so much fun to watch. You're killing these giant rhinoceros insect looking things.
Yeah.
And they're just coming up with like something that would be cool in the 70s, like for 70s television.
Yeah, it's fun. There's a planet on there that the community has dubbed Space Vietnam, and like the robots are taking over, and like in the middle of the night, I guess the robots claimed the planet, and it kicked everybody out for like a certain period of time before we can go back in and try to take it back.
Right.
And people were like, "Oh my God, we lost," I think it was Mavellian. And it was just like people were like taking it real serious. And I guess the CEO of the company came out and said, "Oh yeah, no, we have a guy that runs this game for us as like a dungeon master from D&D, and he'll add more characters, he'll do more stuff, and like he's controlling this massive universe and just throwing shit at people that they're not expecting." And it makes the game really fun, and I'm having a great time with it. So.
People seem to be having fun. I enjoy watching you guys all play it. Maybe I'll hop into it, but like I said, it's been fun to watch you guys while I'm working. Tom from Alberta saying, "I've watched HellDivers. Jordan just shoots at rocks."
It's true.
All right.
It's the Grignac from Galaxy Quest.
Sim Summons in the chat there saying thank you from I can't Australia.
It's pronounced Australia.
I was going to say Austria for a second. It's Australia. I don't know why I got tongue-tied on that. But thank you, buddy. As they say, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Aussie?
Oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi. There you go. I learned that watching Elimination Chamber down in Perth.
Nice.
So I am not that worldly. But now I know, and I will repeat it ad nauseum. Going back to the Universal Music Group thing for a second, LTP in the chat saying they pulled 4 million songs.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And there would be videos that people had put out that it would just be dead silence on their videos now. And then there's like some independent guys out there saying, "Look, I got more exposure on TikTok putting my music out." And now they're pulling that. I don't know how I'm going to get, famous or put out music.
It's one thing where the artists put their music on TikTok and they can't make money off of it. Now it's another thing too. All these people that are doing, provocative dance videos or getting hit in the face, with kitchen appliances or whatever they're doing, and they got these songs playing, they don't qualify for getting money anymore if your video is muted.
Right.
So you could have a video. It's like, oh, my video's got 300,000 views, 600,000 views, 1 million views, whatever. And you're doing some dance to whatever current hot song is out or a ridiculous song. And now your video is either muted or taken down and you cannot make money off of that anymore. So if you had a whole catalog of people accidentally, like any social media, if you're a hot chick with your boobs, up in front and then you're dancing into whatever popular song, it's going to get the views. It's going to get likes and follows and all that stuff. But now you can see the person, you can't hear the music, so they don't qualify for the money anymore. So what's the point? I'm going to start this movement for de-influencing. From that article we read last week, right. I am a de-influencer. I am looking to shut these things down.
That's your FU money when you win that lottery.
Mm-hmm. No,
you start shutting down services.
I have start my network, and then I'll put other shows in place, good shows, and let them go. And then you don't see me again.
We're rebooting 1899 just for giggles.
I will have I will retire to my sandwich shop on the beach, and I will be. I've told that story about what I want to do. Giddles was part of it, but now he has his own dreams, so he's no longer part of that. But I'm going to open up a sandwich shop down at the beach somewhere really nice, high quality stuff, and it's called the Sandwich Shop at the End of the Universe. And it'll be all fun themed stuff in there. And if you order the number 42, there's no description of the sandwich. You just have to take whatever it is.
Yeah, it's the ultimate answer.
It is the ultimate answer for sandwiches.
What's the question?
Yeah. Number 42. Tom from Alberta saying Universal Music Group took away the ability for ineffectual in an image.
Ineffectuals, I think.
Okay, ineffectuals in an imaginary career.
Tom's driving, so AI is actually writing these comments.
Or he's got his knees on the big wheel there while he's trying to keep it in the lanes, not hit it button. Yeah.
Oh.
He's sitting there texting. He's like, I got to tell George. You hit those rigid things on the side of the road to wake you up.
Yeah.
Tom.
It's in that pull-off section where it's all sand.
Stop texting while you're driving, Tom. Be safe. What are you doing? You're nuts. That sucks, especially that really kind of slows down the future of the one good Spider-Man property, two good Spider-Man properties that Sony actually had. One was the animated movies, but the other is the video game series. Does amazingly well for them, and you just let go a big portion of the team that made that successful. Mm-hmm. So I don't think you're going to see Spider-Man 3 anytime soon because of this.
It'll be a few years, yeah.
I don't know what's going on here. What was the other gaming company? Didn't Microsoft just do something?
Yeah, Microsoft just laid off some people too.
Yeah. It makes no sense.
Well, and theirs was more of they merged companies when they finally got Activision, Blizzard, and all that stuff. And some of that was like high level, I forget what the term is. It's basically like, look, hey, we've got a CEO and they had a CEO.
Right.
You don't need both. You know what I mean? There's duplicate jobs and stuff like that. But yeah, they just got rid of a bunch of people. So it's hitting hard with a lot of the stuff, and it sucks because, when times are tough and no one wants to leave, we want to watch movies, we want to watch video games and play video games, and they're cutting that ability to do that too. So kind of sucks.
All right, moving on to more doom and gloom. Mm-hmm. Wendy's surge pricing. This is a thing that they're going to implement. If you're not familiar with what this is, so Wendy's had just announced that they're going to be taking advantage of AI technology and more digital technology in all their brick and mortar locations, where they're going to have everything on digital monitors. Now, we saw McDonald's do stuff like this when they were demanding $20 an hour, and McDonald's went, all right, we have to in California, but the rest of the areas of the country, we don't. So you're let go, and we're putting in giant tablets in there, and that's how you order your food, and it gets delivered to you either at the counter, to your car at a certain number, or the drive-through. And Wendy's is now going to digitize everything, and they're going to charge surge pricing based on the times that you go to actually get food there. Now, we've been saying for a while, fast food, yes, it's a guilty pleasure for some, and we know it's terrible, but I've been saying it's terrible even more now because it's not cost effective. You're getting, it's one thing to tolerate crappy hamburgers or chicken sandwich or something when they're $1 to $3. When you're getting a Big Mac meal, and in some places the minimum for a Big Mac meal is $12.
It's ridiculous.
Is ridiculous. It's not worth the money. None of that food is good enough to pay an obscene amount of money for that crap. Now, what they're going to implement, and I think it's beginning early 2025, you can be on the drive-through. And you'll have all the digital screens like most of them do now. And you can see, if you're there, say, let's say for
rush hour
dinner, right? So you're online, and all of a sudden it turns 4:30. You can see the menu prices change. The guy in front of you may have just got like a Big Bacon Classic or a Baconator or something like that. Got the combo meal for $10. Now, because you're there during the lunch rush, which is probably like 4:30 to 7 or 4 to 7, you got to now pay $15 because you're there during a certain time. The other part of that, which people aren't fully understanding, is based on how things are selling across the country. If they're like, hey, we're noticing everybody is buying Dave's single classic, right? Like everybody's buying it right now. For some reason, that's the top selling item that we have. Kick it up a few bucks. Everyone's buying it. So it's like, all right, $6 for the Dave single classic. Now it's $8. Why is it $8? Because everybody around the country seems to be buying it. But you know what they're not buying? They're not buying the junior bacon cheeseburger. So that's $2.50. Let's lower that down to $1.50. So that might be more of an incentive. Plus, the AI technology they're going to have add into the apps where it will learn your purchasing history and preferences. So when you open the app, it'll automatically start suggesting things to you that they think that it thinks that you like, or it may even have your meal prepped for you and ready as you open the app. It's like, hey, Big Bacon Classic large with a the Coca-Cola. What's one of the sodas?
Freestyle machine.
The Freestyle machine. No, they have certain sodas that just Wendy's has. Oh, there's like a Dave's strawberry cream soda is one of them.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we got your meal ready here for you. Big Bacon Classic, large fry, Dave's strawberry cream soda here. Just got to hit okay, and then you're good to go. Oh, because I buy that a lot, or I buy things similar to that. It's going to do everything for you so that you're just tempted. The old adage of never be more than 1 to 2 clicks away for anything, because people won't sit there and dig through a website. They won't dig through a place to order unless they want something extremely specific, or if there's something they have to do to add like a gift card or a promo code or something. If I can do one click done, which is why Amazon is so successful, because you can do one click done and it's all ready to go. You can order Amazon through Alexa. And then it also learns that, hey, you buy certain things. Hey, we know you might be running out of diapers. Would you like me to order you new diapers? Yes. Okay, cool. We have ordered you new diapers. It'll be there tomorrow. It's like it's all one thing done for you. Now the app is going to be telling you what you want. And it's like, do you want this? Or I think you may want this. Or let me show you some of the stuff that's been reduced or some of the new stuff that's on here. It's doing everything for you. So now you have no control over this shit. Or you got to dig a little bit to get control back.
Eric's kids are going to be ordering Wendy's without him knowing it on the Alexa soon. You're going to have like food showing up through Uber.
I yell at so many, like it's some of the places that I work at. I've had arguments with some of the younger people where they complain about not having money to do certain things, or they don't have enough money to get a better apartment or something else. But then you talk to them, they're spending obscene amount of money, one, going to concerts, two, they're doing Uber Eats or DoorDash all the time.
Expensive.
All the time. One of them was ordering from 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven. They were ordering hot wings and whatever those not Tostitos.
Taquitos? Or
is that what it is? It's like a little wrap thing that's on the rollers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Rolled tacos type of thing.
They were ordering that crap from 7-Eleven through Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever one of the food services that handles it. I'm like, oh, this whole thing here was only $11. Yeah, but what was the tax? What was the surcharge? What was the app charge? And all of that stuff.
Got a tip?
Yeah. Oh, well, it came to $23. So you spent $12 additional to a bunch of food that only cost you $11.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because it was delivered. This is why you don't have any fucking money. Like, I can afford dinner. If I wanted to order from a place, if I see a restaurant that says Uber Eats or DoorDash, like you got to go to their online to see the menu and that's how you order. Nope, not doing it. I will support a place that has their own delivery, and I'll tip. I always tip for people that if they have their own delivery for their restaurant, or if I really want that place, I will go and pick it up. Because I'm not spending all that extra money. Now, some people can say, well, yeah, but, driving out there and back, you're probably spending. No, you're not. One. Two, it's your time. Learn to make time for some other things. It's not worth me just throwing money away for these food app things. Maybe on a rare special occasion, like if I was traveling and I'm somewhere at a hotel and there's nowhere near to go eat, then maybe you have to do that. I can see.
I've done it here because I live so far away from everything. And
are you in a food desert or just the desert?
I'm in the desert.
Okay.
But then you start to look at what the menu is, because I actually went into one of these places after I've done something like that, and I'm looking at the menu going, I didn't pay that for Uber.
Right.
Every item is at least a $3 markup. And then you have, like you said, whatever Uber is doing. And yeah, it's just, it gets very expensive. You're like almost tripling your bill.
It's ridiculous. And I tell them I'm like, stop doing that. Look, I go to Starbucks almost every day. When I get out of the train station, there's a Starbucks there, and I'll get my my iced tea. The other day, my throat was killing me, so I learned this. I had no idea. They have something called a medicine ball at Starbucks. I was going to get like a green tea with honey, and there was a lady there that told me, she goes, "Oh, do you know about the medicine ball?" "No, what's the medicine ball?" "Oh, it's this, and this." "Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I want." Okay. Now I know it. I have it saved in the app. But I'll order as soon as I get off the train. I have my favorites. I'll hit the thing to get usually it's black tea with lemon, or sometimes I get the tea with the strawberry refresher in it, because why not? Live a little. But I know that adds up, but it's not money that I'm using in spite of other things.
Right.
Like, I put that away to have it so I can do all of that stuff. These people, they're just hanging around with their friends, or they're watching TV and they just don't want to go out, so they order all the time to have it delivered, and then they realize that they're a few $100 down before their next paycheck because of what they've been ordering for dinner, for lunch, for all of these things. It's like, stop doing that. Make your own food. And I used to be saying, it's like, oh, just make your own food, go to the supermarkets, but the supermarkets aren't that cheap anymore either. So you really have to be creative and budget and figure out what you're going to do and how to do it. But yeah, those Uber Eats and the DoorDash stuff are really screwing you over for the charges. They're screwing the businesses over that they're associated with. I think McDonald's uses one of them.
Yeah. I think
I saw that one of those companies,
DoorDash.
One of them, I think I saw a sign, like the sticker on the windows or something, that one of those companies, that's how McDonald's does their deliveries. Mm-hmm. Now you got the surge pricing. So imagine using DoorDash to order your meal, not knowing what time it is. Now you have that, and then Wendy's surge pricing on top of that. Now you're spending $40 for a thing that should be maybe $13 at most.
Yeah, it's not worth it anymore. I'm just going to do what the Kellogg CEO said. I'm just going to eat cereal for dinner.
It's just, there's no point. It's just terrible. Stop going to fast food places. Stop going to concerts. Stop going to football games and sporting events like that when you complain about how expensive they are and all the surcharges and seat licenses and all that other stuff that they're throwing on top of there. I know you love going to these things, but it's the only way it's going to stop is if you stop going to these things and stop supporting it. Nobody's going to listen because everybody is idiots. That term is completely stupid too. Everybody is idiots. That should be on a shirt. I might come, and that also might be the show title.
Everybody's is idiots.
Everybody is idiots. That might be the show title this week. But there you go. So disappointing. We were supposed to do this other thing. Is it worth doing? Probably not. I don't know. We haven't. Richard Lewis passed away.
Yeah.
Virgil from the WWE passed away.
Yeah. You're killing celebrities at an alarming rate now, Eric.
Somewhere I thought I had a photo of Richard Lewis. I know I met the gentleman.
Yeah.
But I thought I had one, and I'm looking. I can't for the life of me find it. So maybe I don't have a photo. I thought I did.
I was going to say, it's a bit that has grown so much that I saw on X or Twitter, Anthony even said, hey, where's your black and white photo?
It's not even a bit. It's just a thing that I do.
Yeah, you kill celebrities for sport. I don't know
now, there's
problem.
been other websites who love calling out people for posting photos when celebrities die and then acting like they're friends with these people.
Right.
I get that. I've had one or two sites kind of call me out on these things, and I had to go to them and I said, one, my photos are in black and white, like an in memoriam from the Oscars. That's where I got the idea from almost 20 years ago. That's how long I've been doing this bit. Before it became a thing on the internet that people were posting these photos and pretending that they're friends. I don't pretend I'm friends with these people. Some of them I am. A lot of them I am not. It's posted as an appreciation for the person's work. And I usually list some reason as to why I have that photo with that person, because I respected something that they did or something meant a lot to me that they did. That's why I put it out there. And I've been doing that forever. So much so that it became a thing with Opie and Anthony, because it was just, they were laughing. If somebody died, I had a photo more times than not with that person. And it's been going on ever since. So it's not me doing the internet bit of, oh, look at me, what's going on, making it about me. It's me showing appreciation for the person who has passed away. Now, I understand why that kind of gets lumped into every other douchebag that does it. But I put it out there. I'm not changing the bit. I don't care who's calling me out on that stuff and tagging me on some things. I got called out for being cruel and insensitive when Virgil died because I don't like the guy, and I stated that I don't like the guy.
That was a funny bit. Like, that's how I actually found out. Like, I didn't know until you posted that, and then the caption on it was hilarious. And I thought for a moment, and it was genius on your part, because the photo had two other gentlemen and yourself.
Right.
Virgil, you had the $1 Million Man, and then you had yourself. And you only did yourself and Virgil in black and white.
Right.
And you left the $1 Million Man in color. The reason why it freaked me out for a second is that I am going to see the $1 Million Man in about 2 weeks at a gaming convention here in Phoenix. And I'm like, oh no, he died before he could come to Phoenix.
Right.
And it threw me off for a second until I found out it was Virgil.
So I always put the photo in black and white as an in memoriam to the person who's passed away. So that's why when I did this photo, Ted DiBiase is alive and well and living life and enjoying his legendary status with the WWE and what have you. So he's not dead.
No.
Virgil's gone. Now, somebody said why it should have just been him in black and white and leaving me on there. Well, my bit is normally this. Now, I didn't want to cut out or crop the photo because then it looks like I took the photo with Virgil, which I did not. I took the photo with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, because he's awesome. And I've always liked him growing up. And I was glad to meet him. Virgil was there. Now, in my description here, and I go, somehow him signing my $1 Million belt without me asking him to do so is worth less now.
I laughed so hard.
Also, hopping into this photo that I didn't ask him to be in. Godspeed to Virgil. Now, I don't wish death upon anybody, and it's sad when they die. In some cases, it's not sad when people die. I feel bad for their families, not for the people who died. This isn't one of the cases. I don't really feel sorry for him. It sucks that he died.
Yeah.
But past that point, I had no love for the gentleman. He's ruined a few of my things. And here's why some people would say, well, you know, he actually held the belt for a little while, so it makes sense to have him sign the belt. Correct. Also, it's Ted DiBiase's belt, so that's who it's synonymous with. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, before he was Stone Cold, he was the Ringmaster. The Ringmaster also wore that belt. I have Stone Cold's signature on there. I have Ted DiBiase's signature there. I did not want Virgil's signature on the belt. He took it and signed it. I looked down and I saw that he was signing the belt. And that pissed me off to no end because the guy's a grifter. Now, you could say he's a hustler because I didn't know this either. When he died, everyone was making meat sauce comments. I guess he was selling some sort of meat sauce, which I'm guessing is Sunday gravy, Sunday sauce, something, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it is. It could be fucking Chef Boyardee beefaroni for all I care. He's a grifter. He's a hustler, sure, but he's also a grifter. He would do the shit like the guys in Times Square or in LA where they're selling, hey, what's your name? What's going on? I want to give you my CD. Well, I'll sign, what's your name? And they sign their name on it and they go, that'll be $30. What?
Yep.
Yeah, like that's what they do. He's a con artist. He's a scam artist for that kind of stuff. People, it's sad enough when wrestlers have to go to signings and do these things. Now, I know they do it because, one, they're making good money to be there. Two, they'll make good money for signing merchandise. And three, they actually enjoy their fans.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also sad because some of those old wrestlers are not in that situation. They're pretty destitute, or they're barely making ends meet, so they have to do these things. So that's respectable. I have no problem with that. But they don't pull the shit that Virgil pulls all the time. He would show up. There's a website called Lonely Virgil, which I think Sam Roberts started. And I remember I was contributing to that for a little bit. I was getting him photos from cons and places that I was at. Virgil would show up with his table and his banner, and he wasn't supposed to be there.
Just shows up.
There's an infamous photo of him being in the middle of a road right where cars were coming into an area, and he was set up there because that's as close as he was allowed to be to the event.
That is...
And then he got asked to stop hanging the banner that said WWE's $10 Million Man Ted DiBiase and Virgil at the table because Ted DiBiase wasn't at the majority of these events.
Oh, that is so funny.
So we had to have another banner made that just said, WWE's Virgil.
Was he allowed to use WWE in that sense, though? Like, if it was like an unsanctioned thing? Like,
no, but you're not allowed, but he wasn't selling merchandise. It was... Because what a lot of the wrestlers do now when they're not with WWE anymore, they say FKA, and then they have the wrestling name.
Right.
So legally, you're allowed to say, I was formerly known as whoever, but you can't have any copyrighted or trademark stuff with that name on merchandise and things like that. They can describe you. You can post saying formerly known as WWE superstar whoever. So, but plus it also looks pretty bad if they were going to sue Virgil for using WWE's Virgil on the banner for his table where he's just signing autographs.
Right, because no one's going to go see Michael Jones.
Mm-hmm. Was that his real name?
Yeah,
it was.
Like that.
It was. Yeah, no one's going to see Vincent. No one's going to see Virgil. They're certainly not going to see Michael Jones. And they're not buying that meat sauce, which it's just like a lot of comics and stuff have hot sauce that they're selling now that nobody wants. Mm-hmm. I guess he had a meat sauce that nobody cared about.
Right.
Anyway, he signed things that I didn't ask for and then demanded I pay him for it. He hopped in a photo where I paid Ted's people to get the photo with Ted. And then he was trying to tell me that I had to pay him because he was in the photo. I didn't ask him to be in the photo. But alas, here we are. So
was he close to the area, or he
was at the table? Like Ted's stuff was here. Ted was the centerpiece for everybody coming. Virgil was at this side of the table here selling Virgil stuff, whatever. And if you wanted to get, because they were a famous duo together in the 80s for the WWE. So if you wanted to get both, you could do all of that stuff. But I didn't want any of the Virgil stuff. And he forced his way into it. And I've never forgiven him for that. Now you can say that's really petty and shallow and whatever, and you would be correct. But guess what? I'm still not changing it. It's not happening. Don't touch my stuff. And he touched my stuff. So here's the thing. To complain about someone on the day they die. Classy, Eric. Good job. And I wrote back, or there's a multi-year back catalog about this. Take your pick. The back catalog is the backlog. This is foul. You won't get it because you only care about yourself. It's my account. It's my photo. Yes, this is about me. In this particular instance, it's about me. The other photos are about my appreciation for the person who has passed on. I'm not making it about me like I'm claiming to be friends with most of those people. I'm not. I put the photo up there. It was fantastic that I got to meet them, and here's what I appreciate about them or what they did and their work, and I will forever be, changed and enriched from it, whatever. Mm-hmm. This is about me. This one is definitely about me. And he's like, oh, you make it about you. And yes, I am.
But see, the next comment down is also about you, which I fully agree with. No, you're the fucking Grim Reaper.
Oh, yeah. That is true. Because I will say this, wasn't the intent from this for this thing that I've been doing forever. But more people have died because of my account.
That's true.
I got to find it, but I've been quoted somewhere on I think one of them was like a Yahoo Entertainment thing that I just found out from whatever media outlet or something like that. And then they credited me as how they found out that somebody died because they saw the black and white photo on my account, which was
it's got to the point
unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of the point where Eric shows me a picture of like something, and then I go, God, I really hope I don't ever see this in black and white. It's just, this is one of those things. It's like, oh no, you took a picture with someone.
There's another quote here. This makes it look like you both died at the same time.
Well, you died a little.
Yeah. So.
You don't look happy, I tell you that much.
No, because Virgil. So,
Godspeed, Virgil.
Godspeed, Virgil. Now
he's going to be right in front of the pearly gates with a table set up, trying to give autographs right before people walk in.
If this wasn't such a tongue twister, this could be a show title. Erotic holds no vigil for Virgil. Most people want to. It's like, I know I'd get people on social media. Why did you write Virgil twice? It's like, read, you idiot.
You're setting it up for.
I should have pulled this and I didn't. So Mark Z in the chat saying, yes, F Al Dukes. If Al Dukes used to work way back in the day for the Ron and Fez show, worked at WNEW when Opie and Anthony was there. A famous bit of him and Opie getting into a fight and Opie smashing a make good gift. He got him a Rolling Stone pinball machine, and Opie decided to smash it with a sledgehammer live on the air right in front of him. Al Dukes had left there and has been the producer for Boomer Esiason's show forever. Like when Boomer and I think it was Boomer and Cardin, the original version, was on in the afternoons on WFAN in New York when Imus was still the morning show there. When Imus left, they moved to the mornings. Carton has had legal issues. He wound up leaving. Now I think it's Boomer and Geo is the name of the show. But point being, Al Dukes has produced that show for probably 20 years now, if not close to that. So he's a legend over there, and he's a legend for sports broadcasting stuff, for being part of that world. So Al Dukes posted a photo of him with Richard Lewis, and apparently Geo on the show, and I got tagged in a lot of Twitter stuff for this. Geo doesn't like when people post these photos because people are pretending that they're friends with these people. And I get that. I do. Mm-hmm. I get that. But Al said, it's like, look, I never post photos with celebrities and things like that. I have them, but this one, apparently Richard Lewis was one of his favorite comics. So it's like, this one kind of moved me, and he felt the need to do it. So they were still giving Al some shit. So I got tagged saying that they were talking about, knowing somebody who constantly posts photos of people dying. And I guess people from their audience thought it was me. And Al responded, I guess, on Twitter saying that, no, I didn't mean E-Rock, but he certainly does fit this case. So I meant to pull the audio and I forgot to do it. That's my fault, of them talking about it. But if it wasn't me, now that I know that, so that it makes no sense to have the audio if it wasn't talking about me. But alas, this is a bigger thing. Also, a friend of mine, Mike Calta, he's a radio host, very successful morning radio host down in the Tampa area. He, some of those accounts that call people out for posting celebrity photos when people die, in the last year or so, he's been purposely posting the photo and tagging all those accounts to let them know that he's posting a photo with the person who died. So his is a different take on this situation.
That's a good one.
That's a good bit. That's very funny that he's constantly, all these people that try to call out other people, he tags them and is like, hey, here's another one. Go at it. Have fun. Promote my show. Good for him. There was some other clips that I meant to play and I didn't. All right, we should take a break. I want to show this one real quick. Has nothing to do with us. But our friend Cardiff Electric, the potato.
I do love the potato.
Right there.
I was going to say, I've got his autograph photo back there, and then got my...
Yeah, look at you. Right there.
Got my potato.
Big Cardiff fans, big Bedabbler fans. I got to get you into the world of Tukey and Bedabbler.
Yep, I've heard of Tukey.
Yeah, so big fans of theirs. Apparently, they... I got a mention on their show a while back. I've been meaning to play this for the last couple of weeks, and I forgot to do it. So we will take a break. We'll play this, And when we come back, we'll do segment 2 where we talk television, movie streaming updates, all that stuff, and keep you abreast of the world of entertainment. We'll be right back.
Do you listen to Nagel at all? It's an audio pie. He's big audio. He's huge on Spotify. He's like number 4 behind Rogan.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that.
He's on iHeartRadio. Like it's a good show. Anyway, and if you've listened to Nagel in the O&A days, he always every time he tries to do something, it was a disaster. Every time he tries to go to a movie, every time he tries to go shopping, there's a disaster. I'm starting to think it might be him, but let's not victim blame here.
More, it's Eric Nagel. It's Eric Nagel. Next. It's Eric Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Eric Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itsericnagel.com. It's Eric Nagel. Eric Nagel.
Segment 2 of the show. Eric Jordan here with you, where we tell you about television, movies, streaming updates, all those fun things that sometimes is difficult for you to keep tabs on because there's so much going on in a post-strike world. Now everything's coming fast and furious and new things are being announced at all times. So we go through, we sift through it, and we let you know the things that we think are actually worth your time or mean something to us. Jordan, what have you been watching? Tell the fine folks what you've been watching. Tell us now!
I've been playing HellDivers 2.
You need to shut your mouth.
I can't sing that game's praises enough. It's $40 well spent. Please don't blame me for that. We're doing this on a Friday. I need to catch up with yesterday's episode of Halo. Still need to watch that. I haven't gotten around to watching Shogun yet.
I know. I think I'm going to do that Sunday.
I may try it this weekend. 2 episodes are out now. They're going to do it weekly after that.
Real quick, so since you mentioned it, we might as well tell you it's out right now on FX on cable, and then Hulu, where everybody should just go to watch it anyway. I've heard great things.
Me too.
It's not in English, so there's a lot of reading. It's not a show you can just put on while you're doing other things. You got to sit there and concentrate on it. Much like the Godzilla movie. -1. Yeah. Fantastic movie, worth the time and the effort to put in to read the dialogue, to understand what's going on there. I'm looking forward to, I think Sunday I'm going to sit down and 2 episodes are out now, right?
2 episodes.
2,
yeah.
Yeah,
2
so
episodes, and then they'll do 1 weekly going forward. I don't know how many. I think it's probably 10 episodes. So yeah, 2 now, and then get you going. That seems to be the model of a lot of these weekly streamers are doing. They'll throw 2 out there, and then you'll get the rest piecemeal. So
okay,
need to catch up and do that. That's a big one for me. I watched Next Goal Wins, the Taika Waititi American Samoa soccer movie with Michael Fassbender. I thought it was really good. It's out now on Disney Plus. I think it was Fox Searchlight that put that out, so that went right to Disney Plus. It's easily accessible. I had a good time with it. It's just a good feel-good movie. It's a true story, and it's cool because they show like the real life people at the end of the movie, like they do with some of these true life stories. So very Taika Waititi, a lot of like weird jokes and just awkwardness, but it was a good one. I like that one. And then I've been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm about 5 episodes into their 8th episode first season.
Wasn't this the one everyone was panning because the sound effects were terrible, the animation wasn't that good?
I'm not having any problems with it. Like the story is not bad. I know there's a lot of Avatar purists that like the cartoon so much. It's hard to see. I know. It's hard to see this in a live action, changing things up or doing certain things with the story that wasn't the same way, or maybe speeding through things. I've never seen the anime. I'm going to go back and watch it with my kids. My son has taken to this show, the live action version. So it's something to watch together. Huge cast, like a lot of like notable people. Like the episode I just watched has George Takei in it as a voiceover for like this weird little nightmare demon face stealer. It was cool. Like I was like, all right, this is a cool show.
I'm going to kill you with my sword.
Oh, Howard.
Here comes white people.
William Shatner's an asshole.
Get your boobs away from me.
I love that. I love him so much. So yeah, I'm having a good time with it. Like it's not a bad show for people who aren't familiar with it. It's a good entry into just kind of having something fun to watch. For those who, like I said, maybe like the original anime, you're not going to find that much fault. I think people that are complaining are looking to find things wrong with this. and I'm having a good time.
I don't know
So-
if they were looking because I saw at least when that first episode, or did they all go out at once? Because it was Netflix.
Yes.
Okay, so like the first couple days, then maybe not the first episode. First couple days, people were all having the same complaints that the sound effects were not right or stuff seemed off with it. So I don't think that was
Yeah,
just
I don't
people
know if I
looking to
noticed it.
complain about complaining. Because then usually they're more vague about their complaints.
Technical issues I can understand. Like that's something to definitely complain about. Like there are some moments early on where maybe the special effects looked a little off, but it wasn't bad. Like I've seen worse.
Okay.
So it's easy to overlook it and just enjoy the story. Like I like some of the characters. It's fun to hear some of the how they interact, and I like it. So I'd say check it out for people who want to check it out. It's not bad. And then during the break, I was talking about how tomorrow night, Saturday night, I'm going to go see Dune 2. It's out now in theaters. It is getting very high praise. I think it's like 96 to 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone loves it. They're making fleshlights for AMC shaped like the sandworm.
Yeah, what was I calling? I was calling the Sarlacc fleshlight. Let me pull a picture up.
Yeah, please do. So I rewatched the first one. So like when they split a movie,
the original
off this
or
long,
the first new one?
No, the first new one, the one that came out, I think in 2021, 2022. It's the year that WB was putting everything out in theaters and at home. It was one of the first big movies I really wanted to see post-pandemic. And so I went and saw it. It was boring. I've read the books. The books are boring. Like there's good stuff in the book, but it's a slow, long read. The movie was no different. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes long. And it was a lot of build up to kind of almost nothing, because most of the stuff that you want to see and the one you want to be a part of is in this second movie coming out. So I have higher hopes for this one. But I always just found that first half kind of boring. A lot of build up for nothing. Yep, there it is. The Dune fleshlight. I don't see why they did this.
I don't either, because they're like, oh, look, it's like, what is, are they worms, like sandworms?
Yes.
Okay.
So the sandworms are part of Arrakis, which is called Dune. That's the planet. The locals call it Shai Halub. So.
All right, so they're probably like, so the sandworms have teeth? Is that what
Yes.
it is? So they're like, oh, it's like putting your hands into the worm and everything. Oh, yeah, it'll be like
And it's a
noodling.
popcorn bucket.
They're
So like
noodling their popcorn.
Oh my God, this is catfish stuff.
Right. So then you look at this thing, and all anyone's thought of this is like, people are going to fuck this.
Yeah, it either looks like a space anus or like a fleshlight.
That's a great show title too, Space Anus.
Yeah, we got a lot of good ones tonight, but yeah, that it's just I don't need that. I don't need that at all. Of all the popcorn buckets that have been put out or advertised or gotten out there in the world, this is my least favorite.
Yeah, it's kind of terrible. The one we talked about last week that isn't terrible is the one Cinemark put out for the Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
That one looks fantastic.
That does look
And
fantastic.
it's
I wish I
right
could.
here.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
That's a good size bucket. Like it does definitely look like a good. Yeah, I was going to say compared to your hands,
It's
like,
about a foot.
That's pretty cool.
I guess you put the popcorn in there and then you would eat that. But yeah, lo and behold.
That is.
As soon as I knew they were
I
available, I ran over to the theater. I was like, I need to obtain one of these.
I was going to say last Friday, we did the show last Friday as well. Eric definitely ran out the
My
next
head
day
is
because
as big as this thing. That is a problem.
Pretty good. that is too big or your head's too small.
There you go.
I'm gonna
Screen
eat popcorn
cap
out
that.
of the other one.
Yeah, have fun with that.
But yeah, I got a picture that next afternoon, last Saturday, of Eric holding a bag of popcorn buckets. I was like, you silly goose.
I know.
Very happy.
So worth it. Well worth it. Now, look, I will continue to say that these things are complete waste of time and money.
Yeah, they're definitely ridiculous.
I know why they're doing it now, because they figured out how they could customize these kind of things for popcorn.
Oh yeah.
I said I should have emptied the other thing, but it's full of stuff. I've got the metal coin block from Super Mario when that movie came out there, and it's got a whole bunch of Mario stuff in it. Actually, you know what I threw into that bin? My Nintendo Amiibos.
Nice.
that don't really do anything anymore. So they're all just piled into that metal bucket.
That's a big bucket.
But then, Fast and Furious had some kind of car. That Dungeons and Dragons movie with Chris Pine
Had the 20-sided die.
that people
was freaking
and
out
that's
for that
where
one.
I think it got really popular, the concept of these decorative popcorn buckets, because they were doing them for other things, but I think the Dungeons and Dragons one started making it a thing because people were selling them on eBay and going crazy trying to find those ones.
Well, the theaters kind of jumped on to the trend that Disney did. So Disney parks started doing these big elaborate popcorn buckets and popcorn holders and things like that. Like I've got a few of them. In fact, my buddy Aaron a couple years ago went to Disney and they had the AT-AT, the AT-AT walker from Star Wars as a popcorn bucket. He grabbed me one of those, and I still have that one. I think it's over there somewhere. But they have definitely taken some popularity, and then now that you're sitting there in a movie theater with a giant Slimer on your lap, it's kind of weird. But I'm glad they're doing that one though. I like that one. That's actually probably my favorite.
Look at this thing.
Well, they'll do them for everything now.
Yeah. Hold on. Trying to pull it up here, but take a look at this. The AT-AT one. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but this one's that's pretty awesome.
I've got that. Yeah. It's super cool. And it's big too. Like God, I wish I had it easily accessible. I would show you the size, but it is.
I mean, we're looking at here because you can see in comparison. I guess this is another popcorn bucket, which is probably a foot. This thing's probably 18 inches.
Yeah. So the top of it opens up, it flips up, and then you stick the popcorn like box that you get at Disney right inside there, and it comes with the little strap. So you hold it like it's like a little man bag or something. You got your little popcorn bucket. They've done stuff like Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas, and they do like all the different characters. And yeah, anytime that there's a popcorn bucket at Disney, they go fast and they're limited edition, and people will line up for hours to get them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's insane.
I'm seeing the Oogie Boogie one here. That it's just there's two of them.
Glows in the dark.
One's a full figure and the other one's a head.
Yeah, I've got the full figure.
Yeah, that does look pretty cool.
Yeah, they're neat. Like I don't know what you do with them. Like I have mine just kind of laying around. I used to have them displayed.
Like the Oogie Boogie one, I would display that like for a Halloween decoration.
I had it up in my cabinet before I did my stuff over. Yeah,
right. But like no one's gonna give a shit about the Dune.
No,
even the people who like Dune are just looking at this going, "What? This is what they call an epic fail."
Well, the director was like, I didn't approve this. That's weird. And then like a lot of the people that were on the press junkets when they were asking like Rebecca Ferguson and all that stuff about these things, they had no idea. And when they saw it, they're like, that's disgusting. Like that is weird. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
So even like the actors are not in on this. So it's interesting. Definitely my least favorite of the group.
Well, this was worth it.
I can't. Yeah, that is awesome.
I'm not going to be a bucket collector. I would definitely, if I had the opportunity to get that Oogie Boogie head, I would. But this was just something that kind of spoke to me. And I went, you know what? I think I kind of want this because it reminds me of in the first one. Remember when he was eating off the dining cart in the hallway? And then he started going after Peter like that. And then I think it was towards the end of the first one where he was eating all the hot dogs out of the street vendor.
Yeah, he had all the hot dogs in his mouth coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the street meat.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
All right. What was I watching? I finished Quantum Leap season 2, the new one.
Okay. Now, is it a full season or did they split it?
It's 13 episodes.
Okay.
They did split it. Like they had a couple weeks off and then they came back. So it's 13 episodes. I like where it's going. Overall, it's interesting the stories that they're picking. There's just some fucking ham-handedness with messages.
Yeah.
All the time. Inclusivity. And not that it's a very diverse cast. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. It doesn't mean anything. Like whatever. It's just people doing whatever. But I'm going to pull a clip. I think I'm going to do a special little piece on this and put it out there. There was an episode where they're back in somewhere in Mexico. I guess. Oh yeah, like the 1950s in there, 60s. And it's about 3 sisters, and one of the sisters has her hair cut short, and she has like her self taped down, I guess, because she doesn't really feel like a woman. But back then, they don't know what a lot of this stuff is. She just knows she doesn't feel like a woman. So she, people were gay back then. People knew what gay was back then. But all the other stuff, they didn't really have definitions for yet, So while Dr. Ben Song, who's the Sam of this new quantum leap, he's in one of the bodies of the sister, start explaining to her non-binary and what non-binary means and all this stuff. They're about to be shot by somebody in Mexico that's looking for them, and they're taking 2 minutes for him to tell her about what non-binary is, and maybe that will help her in her life so that she can identify herself properly. Wasn't the time for it. Made no sense because it was shoehorned into here. Oh, by the way, let me tell you about something current in a timepiece storyline that doesn't make any sense for it to be there, and then move on and never address it again.
Yeah, that's what I hate is when you just pop something in there.
Yeah.
Just to fit your message in and then not actually have it.
If he had went back to this point in time and was helping that sister out, like part of the thing he was doing is helping that sister out, trying to figure out her life or whatever. Because some of those episodes where they dealt with retarded people, gay people, mentally ill people, and they're there to save them because they get killed because of, bigotry or racism or whatever, and they go to change time. That's the whole point of the show. Put right what once went wrong kind of thing. If that was over the course of the episode that he's trying to get her to feel okay and learn stuff about herself and to make stuff move forward, that makes sense. You may like it or you may not, but it makes sense to the story why it's there.
Right.
When it had nothing to do with anything, a quick insert, like full-fisted right into your face about this thing, and then they go running off to find a treasure map, and then it had nothing to do with the rest of the episode. If I was part of that community, I'd be pissed at that too. It's just like there was no reason for you to throw that in there, and they have a hard enough time as it is. So now you're going to make us, you're giving more people fodder to attack us, to make us sound like shit, I'd be offended about it. Not being part of that community, I was offended by it because it's like there was no need for that conversation whatsoever. None. Again, if it was throughout the episode as part of a story, I get it. When it's just pause. Let me tell you about BLM. What? This is 1940s, like you're in World War II Germany. What are you talking about? No need for it.
Usually you like a good, full fisting, but in this case, it just feels weird.
Overall, outside of some of those little missteps, I'll call it, potholes, if you will.
Yeah.
It's a decent show. I like where they're going with it, and hopefully maybe season 3 they get Scott Bakula in as Sam, like they find him lost to time or something.
I was going to say, because wasn't he at the end of the original run, he was lost and that was it. Like,
yeah,
he's just gone.
This new series starts where they develop the software to try to track Sam, to try to find him, to try to bring him home. And then it becomes something else because then they realize they're never going to find Sam because the math is not adding up to what they thought it was, because now there's other variables at play and things change. So if you want to try it out, if you like sci-fi stuff, it's not bad. It's really not terrible. There's some things that are infuriating, but other than that, it's an okay show. It's on Peacock if you haven't watched it, or NBC if you're watching regular television. Go and watch that. And I got to catch up on other things. I haven't really watched anything this week. I've been so far behind with my television. Oh, no, I did. I watched the first 2 episodes of the final season that just started for Young Sheldon. I've actually been watching that show.
Really?
I think I like it better than Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory was kind of on, and it really got too much as time went on.
Yeah.
Sheldon's not bad. The guy who plays the father is pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen clips where, he's...
And Annie Potts plays the grandmother, and
she's a little crazy.
She's a pisser. Yeah, she runs an illegal gambling operation in the back part of her laundromat.
Love it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So
right. Maybe I'll check that out.
For basic television, network television sitcoms, it's pretty good.
How many seasons? Did you say season 8?
7.
7.
This is 7.
God. Yeah. He's not young anymore. He's
No.
20 years old.
That's why this series is ending, I think. All right.
Puberty, we got to go.
Moving on to things that are out now that you should watch. If you're still a fan of The Walking Dead for whatever reason, I don't know how you are, over on AMC, Walking Dead. Wait, that title changed.
You didn't put it in there. I think it's The Ones That Survived. I think that's what it's called.
No, I had
I didn't put that in. Do nothing.
You did something.
Why you got to blame me? Just because
I had that. The Ones Who Live. What did you do? You changed my notes.
Nothing.
How dare you?
That's it.
Okay.
Take away my paycheck.
I am.
The Walking Dead. The Boy Who Lives.
Mouth.
There's never a Matt Berry clip that is not fantastic. Here's another one.
Why are you dressed as the man from Del Monte?
He's just
One of these days, I'm gonna
fantastic.
come dressed as the Del Monte guy, and that'll teach you.
He's just brilliant in everything he does.
Everything.
Anyway, AMC, and I think it's on Hulu too. That the new Walking Dead series, The Ones Who Live. I think this is because they were supposed to make the movie, and now the movie's not happening, so they made this instead.
Yeah,
right.
So it's going to be like a limited run. I think it's like 10 episodes or 8 episodes. Something they seem to kind of hover around the 8 to 10 episode run now with some of these limited series. So, yep.
Okay. Got to go back to the chat real quick. Our pal Tim saying in the chat, liking something better than Big Bang Theory isn't a very high bar. It is when it's the same universe, technically. Young Sheldon, better than Big Bang Theory. Tom from Alberta, check out the Ted series, much better than the movies. I've heard good things.
Agree.
I keep forgetting that is a thing. I need to go and definitely watch that.
It's a lot better than the movies. Good.
Moving on to what else is out right now. We mentioned Shogun, available on FX and Hulu. Go watch that. Pay attention to it because it's a lot of subtitle reading, but I'm told it's worth the time.
Now, if you're lazy, there is a dubbed version that you can access through the special. Like, if
remember when we were recreating that the other night?
That was fun.
Yeah, we can't do that here, but
no.
No, actually, I guess we do. So when you put on the English dub version, you hear this. That's a sample of the English translation for Shogun.
Yeah.
So definitely go check that out. Available now on Netflix, Spaceman, starring Adam Sandler.
Yep.
Up until the spider shows up in the trailer, I was kind of enjoying it. I liked what it was going to be.
You don't like the giant spider?
No.
Talking to him about his relationship issues?
No, because if he starts pulling like an Interstellar kind of nonsense, if it was some other kind of entity talking to him, I think it would have been even better. But because of the spiders there, I haven't watched it. I just watched the trailer. The spider makes it look ridiculous.
I'm going to try to watch it before the next show. I don't know if the spider is a hallucinate.
Now you got me doing it
too. I don't know if it's a fake spider or a real spider.
Hallucination.
Me trying to say that word. Yeah, that's me trying to talk right now. So yeah, I'll watch it this weekend for sure.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna check out the Adam Sandler thing. Hallucination. I know.
It's easy to type, isn't it?
We got there in the end. Over at Disney Plus, Bad Batch season 3. I've never seen 1 or 2.
They're good.
What is it? Is it all Mandalorian stuff?
No, it's the clones. So it's like a bad batch of clones from the clone army. So it's like they're not the ones falling in line. They all have different distinct personalities. It's a real good animated show on Disney Plus. It's their 3rd and final season, so they're ending that out. So we're gonna have a lack of some Star Wars properties for a while, but yeah, it's a good show. It's really good.
That is available, and then also Morbius, the disaster from the Spider-Man universe that Sony put out, is now available on Disney Plus.
Yep.
I don't know how that load of shit is on Disney Plus, but you still don't have Spider-Man No Way Home. The third and the best one of the recent Spider-Man movies is still not on Disney Plus yet because of that stupid deal that Sony made with Starz.
It was either Stars or, like I said, Netflix. It's one of the two. But yeah, it's not coming to.
If it was on Netflix, you'd be seeing that all over the front page because who's not going to click on to watching a Spider-Man movie?
Point.
It wasn't there. So I think it's still on Stars, which is just such a dickhead move by Sony to keep doing things like that. But alas, we shall wait. Or unless I own a digital copy, I might own a digital copy. If I do, if it's on my Vudu account, then what am I waiting for? Why am I complaining? I'll just go over there and watch it.
There you go.
Could have went and saw him today, and I didn't. I had other things. Phil Rosenthal was in town. And
is he doing his little stage thing there?
No, he was promoting his new season 7 of Somebody Feeds Phil on Netflix, which is available right now for you. I was going to go in and see him because he did my show. I think when the show started, he did my show.
I would love to talk to him. This is one of the shows that I like, me and the kids, and we just love watching. He's such a fun, just overall nice guy personality. And from what Giddles was telling me, that translates to his personal life. Like he's just
right. I forgot Giddles worked on a couple of seasons of the show.
Season 6, Giddles was like an editor on the show, so he was getting all those up, and he would always tell us what he was eating before we got to watch it, and it sounded so good, and it was fun to see Brian Gittleman in there. It was like, all right, that's awesome. So it is
but
season
the
7.
First name was Byron on it, so that was very disappointing for him.
It was Byron Gribbleman.
Yeah,
that's weird.
We have a celebrity in the chat.
Ooh.
Just want to point this out. Probably the most well-known demon in the world of entertainment.
Ooh.
Mr. Hackride is in the chat saying Star Trek is dumb space religion. You are correct. You are correct.
No, but see, there is room for both. People can enjoy both. I walk in both worlds, if you will.
Look, I would enjoy seeing both. Picard walk out and tell the replicator to make Earl Grey hot, and I'll be fine for the rest of the episode. It's like, let them go fight, space Nazis and earworms and whatever else they're doing.
There's a reason why I love Picard so much and why I named my kid that. Because I can just say that to him every time, or even play the clip.
I know you guys do us a kindness. Do a kindness for our pal Hackride over there. Go over to his YouTube channel. It's Hackride on YouTube. He does a show called Puzzle Box. Wait, maybe he doesn't, because I saw him going on a posting rant that YouTube was knocking down his episodes or something.
Oh no.
I'm trying to remember what it. All right. Still, go over to his YouTube channel. He might have a Patreon set up now because YouTube was screwing with him. Go support Hackride. He's very fun. Remember that night I found him? I sent you clips.
Yeah, that's right. You were showing me those, and I'm like, this is.
I was trying to figure out.
It was weird at first.
I was like, is he tied into Tukey or not? Like, I thought.
Figure it out. Yeah.
El Horrible was doing another character, and then I'm like, oh, this is a separate character.
Yeah,
but the Puzzle Box show
coming in 2 days
is hilarious. The Hackride stuff that he does with Blind Mike is also very funny. Go support him. I love good content creators. Go support Hackride. Find him on social media. It's all under Hackride. Everything. Just search Hackride. Find him.
He's good.
Like and subscribe everywhere and support that young man. That young up and comer.
Yeah, I was going to say he's got a show coming out for Gearbox with special guest Tukey on the 3rd. So go check that out.
Very nice.
He's a good egg as well.
That is a 1-2 punch of star power. Go check all that out. Of course, people like to draw dicks in the chat, but who doesn't like to draw dicks in the chat? I do recommend.
Hey, you took my signature.
You can do that if it's followed with some bits or a super chat. I'll put up all the dicks that you want if you want to super chat that in. I am not above that. It is not below what we do. Tom saying the result of the Dune flashlight. Did he mean fleshlight?
I believe so. Okay. Again, he's driving with his knees and trying to type.
Tom, do us a favor.
Stop telling people stuff. Stop posting. Stop talking. Stop yapping. Shut up.
Tom has a five joke per mile quota as he's
keep
driving,
it between the yellows, my friend. We'd like to see you alive for next week's program.
Yep.
Okay. All right, moving on. What else is still out? We said Somebody Feed Phil season 7 on Netflix. It's a great show. Go watch it.
It is.
Nobody cares about Lisa Frankenstein. I don't know why I left that on there. Is there anything?
I put it on there because it just came out on video on demand less than a month after it released.
I thought it was an old note. My bad. Okay. Nope. So that movie that was kind of meh is now available
for rent.
for rent on iTunes, Vudu, all of that fun stuff.
Yep.
And there's no good movies coming out right now, right? There's nothing in theaters.
In theaters? Just Dune 2, but that's this week. I don't know what's on the slate coming up. Like after Dune 2, I kind of lost track of what's supposed to be releasing. So I'll get a good list going.
I have nothing, and I'm not saying that's anything that we care about, but it's what people out there will actually go to the theaters to see. March 14th, which is a couple weeks away, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour concert movie is going to Disney Plus.
Right.
So that'll be a big thing. But I don't have anything on movie notes until Ghostbusters on the 29th.
Oh, that's right. This month is
which I
Ghostbusters.
got
That's
my.
the big one.
Oh, actually, no. Roadhouse is on Prime, so that doesn't technically
Roadhouse.
count.
They
But
need to pull that
Ghostbusters in theaters, Frozen Empire. I got my tickets the other day when I guess they went online 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't waking up for that. I woke up a few hours later and I saw people talking about Ghostbusters. I went and bought my ticket. And at the time, nobody had bought tickets because it was only a few hours. But then later I went back and checked, and I think I sent it in our group
There's
chat.
like 3 people total.
Who's the weird? And Rob brought up a great point. Who is the weirdo that bought not even the center, like left of the center back row seat?
Yeah, it's creepy.
There's
and it was just a
no
single seat.
rhyme or rhythm to why they're doing that. Why would you buy that seat there? Now, I had another friend who posted that they had bought their Ghostbusters tickets and they had back seats, like I guess 2 or 3 of them. And I asked them, I go, why the back seat? Oh, I always sit in the back seat. I love it. I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's not like you're hiding with the cool kids in the back of the bus. You know,
I used to do back row until my eyes started getting worse. So I would slowly start to move up until I can get that one bar seat. Like if they have that bar right between the front rows and the actual big seating.
If you go to a proper theater that has proper stadium seating, center front row, anywhere in the front row, really, depending. Sometimes each room's dynamics are different, but center front row, there's no reason not to, because you're not on the floor. You're above the simpletons who are sitting on the floor level, and then the row of handicap accessible. And the theater I go to is all recliners and surround sounds and all that, the fancy stuff. Doesn't have the railings where you can put your feet up there because you got the recliner seats. There is a wall there so that you don't have to see the handicap accessible people or the people in the front rows sitting on the floor.
Maybe you should have started with the front rows and then mention that also the handicap, because it made it sound like you really don't want to look at the handicap.
I was working from my point of view back.
Oh, sure.
Towards the back of the room there.
Got it.
No preference, really. It's just from the
look, if I can't drive my car in here, why should they?
The vantage point of where I was at, too. Yeah. So this way, you have the wall there. You don't have to see people walking to the far side stairwell to go up to the seating. Because why are you walking over there when you've got the perfectly good lit up one in cool decorative colors to the left? You've got your recliner. Another thing, too. People are getting way too comfortable with the recliner in the movie theater. When you've got those really posh movie theaters, they're taking their shoes off and they're bringing blankets with them.
Yeah, that's no.
Stop doing that. This isn't your living room. This is not your house.
You leave your shoes on at the movies. You leave your shoes on at work if you're in an office setting, and leave your shoes on if you're in an airplane. Knock it off.
Yeah, stop doing that. And look, I don't know if they have socks on. I don't know if they don't have socks on. I know. It's still disgusting. And you don't need the blankets. If you can't handle a movie theater for an hour and a half, 2 hours, then go to see a doctor about your circulatory system, because that's a you issue.
Stop making it about you. It's about us.
Make it about
our
me.
comfort.
Exactly. It comes back to us always. All right. So that's everything that's going on. Wait, no. We have here the following week. Wonka is coming to HBO Max. Oh, there we go.
That's why I said you don't have to go to a theater.
All right. So next week on HBO or Max, they call it now, the third Wonka movie will be available. So I will watch it there.
Yep.
I'll give you my review if it's as terrible as everybody
it stinks.
says. Moving on, March 14th, as a reminder, we've been telling you for weeks, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus are going to be banning users for sharing their subscription logins with people that are outside of their household. They've been doing it since the start of the year up in Canada, and it seems to have been somewhat successful. I don't know if their subscription numbers have gone up yet. We probably won't find out until it happens in America and, after several weeks to see if there's any progress with it. But they are very adamant in blocking your logins outside of your household. So much so, they have like the banker rules where if you flew out of your area to go watch vacation, you need to let them know that you're going, where you're going to be so they can give you permission to use your account while you're away on vacation or traveling or whatever. Because if you try to log in at a hotel somewhere else, that's not your house.
Your home.
Yeah, you're not home. We can't give you access to it, which is going to be a huge problem only because Disney is essentially a digital babysitter for a lot of people's kids. And if you don't let them log in from wherever they are, you're going to have a lot of parents either wanting the head of Bob Iger or canceling in a mass hysteria, if you will. They will go to Coco Melon. They don't want to, but they will. They'll go watch Coco Melon on Netflix. They'll go watch the PBS app for the baby tiger that stole all of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Now it's his thing. The what?
Daniel Tiger.
See,
used to have my son watch that.
Okay. They'll go to those things. They'll go to Bluey. They will go to Bluey.
Isn't Bluey on Disney?
God damn it. You're right. It is.
Damn it.
They'll go to Nickelodeon. They'll go to Paramount. The Sesame Street app, because Disney doesn't own the Sesame Street Muppets. That's
Thomas
still
the Tank,
that is still owned by the Children's Television Workshop in partnership with NPR. Okay,
all rights reserved.
Bartholomew in the chat saying, "Not everybody wants to buy your toe picks. God damn it, leave your shoes on." I take a Roku around for dog sitting with all my accounts. Going to be a little irritating when stuff starts not letting me log in with my on my device with my account and watch stuff. Yeah, the Disney thing's so weird. You got to let them know you're going somewhere in order for them to give you permission to watch the thing you're paying for. Moving on. Amazon Prime announced that on June 13th, season 4 of The Boys. I think we said this last week. Did I forget to take this off the sheet? Okay. Back over to Netflix on May 23rd. This was just announced the Monday after Shane Gillis was on Saturday Night Live, that they picked up a brand new series that he produced, shot, wrote, all of that stuff. Him and his partner, Matt, from his podcast, Matt's brother, who they also work with, and a bunch of other friends of theirs. Andrew Schultz makes an appearance. Tommy Pope's in there. The guy from Cumtown, that's hilarious. The Greek guy. I'm forgetting his name.
Stavros.
He's in there too. They're making cameos and stuff like that. The show is called Tires. It stars Shane Gillis. Acquired the independent production from Shane Gillis and his company, who stars and serves as an executive producer. The 6-episode scripted comedy was self-financed. As part of the deal with Gillis, Netflix will also produce a brand new stand-up special with the comedian. His previous special is currently on Netflix. I think came out in September. So that's there if you want to go check that out.
Yeah, the first one was good.
And Tires also stars a few. Stavros is in there. Guest appearances by Andrew Schultz. It looks, from what I've seen of the photos, interesting. It's a very blue-collar comedy of them working at a tire shop or dealing with a family tire shop. So if you've ever watched Shane Gillis's skits on like Gillies and Keeves, if you're not familiar with that, go check out that show. There's a couple of seasons of their stuff that they put together. Their skits are hilarious, but they're also tied into like the blue collar, lower white collar mindset of America. Like there's one thing where there's one episode where times were getting too tough that some dad was doing his OnlyFans at his house while his kids and his wife were having dinner downstairs, and he'd be upstairs like posing his rear end into a mirror and stuff like that while he's streaming on OnlyFans in order to make me. It's hilarious. Go watch Gillies and Keeves on YouTube. You'll be glad.
I did see a Shane Gillis thing the other day. There's a TikTok account where this good Boston guy is always saying, don't use a hammer at a construction site. Use your hand. And then like his catchphrase is "be a man."
Mm-hmm.
So he did that. He goes, "Why wait to get canceled when you have the job? Get canceled before." And then Shane Gillis pops in and goes, "Be a man." And it was just, I was like, that is fucking hilarious. I'll have to find it. I'll send it over to you.
Yeah. ITP in the chat saying Shane Gillis proved he doesn't belong on Saturday Night Live round 2. Yeah. I thought he did great on Saturday Night Live. Some of the one really great skit, it didn't air.
Which one?
The Limu, Emu, and Doug.
I laughed. I showed my kid that, and then I realized I probably shouldn't have, but I laughed like a lot.
So that was for YouTube hilarious. Only. It didn't air on television.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was cut for time or whatever, but that one was hilarious.
Maybe they couldn't air it because they probably would have gotten a lot of crap from Liberty. Like maybe you can circumvent that.
I don't know. There was that. The Trump sneakers. One was really good.
Forrest Gump reunion was really funny.
That one was very funny. Yeah, there were some great skits that were Shane based. The other stuff, not so much. Weekend Update is always pretty good. Michael Che and Colin Jost.
I like them.
Do a solid job every week. If the rest of the show stinks around it, Weekend Update is usually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. Since we were talking about Netflix is set to raise prices again this year.
Yep.
Netflix is expected a hike increase on its streaming plans in 2024 as it continues to take a bigger bite out of the overall TV viewing, according to some analysis last October. Netflix increased the price of the basic plan from $9.99 to $11.99 per month in the United States, and also hiked prices of their tiers in the UK and France. Netflix hasn't announced specific plans to hike subscription prices in 2024, but executives have said the rate increases are on the table.
Yeah.
So, didn't they just, with that last price increase, that the lower tier now had ads, even though you were paying for it? You had to pay even more to get the no ad tier.
And the ad tier doesn't even let you watch some movies because, like that movie Thanksgiving, I saw someone was trying to watch it on the ad tier, and they're like, you can't.
Thanksgiving. Is that the one?
No, but I love that song. It's so bad.
It's Thanksgiving. This one.
Rebecca Black's up and comer.
It would be great if he used this on the soundtrack. Like all of a sudden she just gets a notice from like ASCAP that, hey, this song was licensed to be used in a movie. Look, what? And then this is the ending, like with the credits.
It's like a serious horror movie, and then this plays at the end.
Yeah.
Oh,
everyone's dead. The one guy who they thought was dead, who's killing everybody, he was walking way down the street out of the village. Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe for the sequel.
That black guy that's in all the videos is back there dancing.
Yeah.
He's over at the kids' house for no
He's
reason.
the guy that killed everybody. How did you not see that coming?
Damn it. He was in every scene.
He was dancing with a turkey leg microphone. All right. What else do we have here? James Gunn has teased Superman Legacy's new outfit, and then also revealed that the movie has been renamed from Superman Legacy to just Superman. Real original.
Very creative.
Filming is underway for the James Gunn Superman movie, as the director posted the title change and the new logo on the suit on his social media there. They have not posted the rest of the suit, but people are piecing it together and not really happy with it. The guy is coming off looking exactly like Christopher Reeve, some are saying.
Yeah.
But the suit looks, it's that weird thing where it looks like it has so many like holes
like
in it.
Hexagon, or it's like breathable. I don't know. I never liked Superman.
I've never either. Like I liked the Superman, probably 1 and 2, because it was, again, when we grew up, it was on HBO all the time. So you'd watch them. There were good movies, but I never cared about Superman.
I actually kind of like the third one too with Richard Pryor. Because I always remembered, like, at the end, that woman turned into like a metal person because she got sucked into the machine or something.
Right.
It's that fourth one that got bought up by Canon Films that became weird.
Yeah, where the guy looks like he's
it's like atomic or something.
Yeah, so stupid.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have here? Vanity Fair released the first look at the photos for the Crow reboot. I didn't watch The Crow. I mean, it was my age group growing up. I should have watched The Crow. I didn't watch The Crow. I know the soundtrack was really good. I never cared about The Crow.
I say, if you look up on the top row of my shelves, there are Funkos of The Crow.
That is sad.
Sad.
So these new photos came out, and The Crow just looks like Jared Leto's gangster Joker from the Suicide Squad movie. Looks terrible. I don't know if The Crow still works. The Crow was a comic book before it became a movie, but it came out at a time when grunge and dark imagery was actually important and big in that transition from the early to the mid 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So it fit the time, but two, we didn't have superhero stuff like you do now.
No.
So The Crow coming out, I don't think anyone gives a shit unless you have some kind of fondness for the original movie and you will go check it out. I don't think new people, younger people are going to go watch this and go, oh, I like this. I think they're not going to like this.
My biggest worry about, well, it's not a worry.
They've changed part of the story too, I read.
They've changed part of the story. He looks like one of those like SoundCloud rappers, tattoos everywhere, tattoos on his face. And we haven't, other than this article that just got released, we haven't seen anything on it. We've not seen any behind the scenes. We haven't seen any trailer for it. This movie comes out in June. When a time that there's nothing being put out and we had the strikes causing a lot of delays, you would think you would have tried to get some, some fanfares, get the word out, and they've done nothing. And the pictures that I've seen, I have no confidence in this movie whatsoever. And I do like the source material. I met the author, James O'Barr. I love the first movie. The other movies were all, kind of bad. The second movie went to theaters, but everything else went straight to DVD. Not even DVD, VHS at the time. God, they even had Edward Furlong in, I think, the fourth movie. And it was just bad.
You're not selling me on any of this.
No, don't watch those ones. They're terrible. David Boreanaz is like a bad guy. It's so bad.
He's still playing Angel for some reason. It's not even in this
just walked on set.
Hi, I'm Angel. I'm depressed. Where's Buffy?
Like, get the Crow.
Who is this guy? What's going on here?
Sorry. You touched it.
There we go. I know I touched it. So the new photos came out. It looks like garbage. I don't know who's going to see this. Turkish John, just like me. There were 4 Crow movies. Who knew? Apparently Jordan did.
Yeah. I used to work at a video store and they would all show up on the shelves. I'm like, all right, I'll watch this. Kirsten Dunst is in the third one.
So what's this thing here about Roadhouse?
Roadhouse. Sorry, we need that.
Roadhouse, the reboot is coming out to... Wait, where did the listing go? Oh, it's on this page. Sorry, my bad. Roadhouse, the reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it, is coming to Amazon Prime on March 21st. But there's a lawsuit here.
There is a new lawsuit. So first, there's a lot of controversy around this because they're not releasing it in theaters, going straight to Amazon.
Okay. Jake
Gyllenhaal and the director, who I believe is Doug Liman, he directed, I think, the first 2 or the second Jason Bourne movie. Pretty good director, a lot of action. They've been trying to get Bezos to say, no, please release this in the theaters. And they're like, no, we're going to put it on Amazon Prime. So it's going straight to Prime. Well, this past Tuesday, R. Lance Hill, who wrote the screenplay for the 89 movie Roadhouse for MGM Studios, claims copyright infringement and seeking declaratory relief, which means he alleges Amazon ignored his ability under the U.S. Copyright Act to reclaim the rights for his 1986 screenplay Roadhouse, which spawned the original movie. Hill also alleges that he filed the necessary petition with the U.S. Copyright Office back in 2021, requesting that the copyright revert back to him when United Artists claim was due to expire November of 2023. Amazon, which owns Roadhouse rights because they acquired MGM, allegedly ignored his copyright claims, even taking steps to work around the SAG-AFTRA strike in an attempt to finish the movie before the copyright expired. According to the suit, Amazon, and quote, went as far as to take extreme measures by trying to meet this November 10th deadline at considerable additional cost, including resorting to using artificial intelligence to mimic some of the actors' dialogue, which is being
shit! This is almost like
voices.
This is almost like the Crispin Glover thing with Back to the Future 2.
Right.
Oh, man.
So they used AI to possibly replicate the voices of some of the actors to be able to finish it before any of the ADR and any of that stuff happens. So that's what the lawsuit's coming out as. So the original writer is suing because the rights to the movie should have reverted back to him. And they rushed to get it done. I mean, it's the same stuff Sony's done when, like, you got these superhero movies that are set to expire with Sony, so they rush a second Ghost Rider movie because they have to retain the rights. You have to film something and get it on, down to retain certain rights. That was the whole deal with Fantastic Four. That really bad, I think was it 2004, 2014, something around there. That really bad Fantastic Four movie was another case of we have to film this movie or the rights go back to Marvel.
Right.
And so this is the case where I think Amazon rushed to get Roadhouse completed.
The difference with that was Fox made the movie and then got bought up by Disney. So it didn't matter.
It didn't matter at all.
Didn't matter at all.
Just playing the long con there.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, so maybe they get an injunction and then it doesn't get released.
Doesn't release this week, next week.
Hold on. Court ruled is like, we need to sort this out before we can release it. And then Bezos has to pay like $100 million because he ignored some law.
He just searches his couch.
Maybe he's like the...
Hold on, I'll get it.
Maybe he's like the fake Hitler guy in South Park. I'm above the law. And then he just fixes his hair.
So funny.
All right. Moving on. What is this new AI? Is this worth talking about or should we save that for next week? The AI.
We can save it for next week because we have some gaming trailers and stuff like that we can do. So.
All right. So we'll do all that next week. So, all right. Then I think with that, we're done.
We are done.
I think we are done.
It's time for some food, some hell diving, some frivolity.
Right. Where's the...
That's not playing. I was letting you have... Nope, didn't work.
I just wanted... I'll play this one instead.
She fell down a tree and busted her knee. Dum-diddy-dum-diddy-dee. Go Wildcats! Go Wildcats!
There's no need for that at all.
No, not at all.
But there is a need to do the plugs, and we do need to get out of here. So, Jordan, as always, our nation's eyes turn to you.
When I'm not being on the It's Eric Nagel show, I am doing a podcast called I'll Watch It Later podcast. We watch movies, we catch up on things that we should be seeing, and I love the fact that Eric's talking through all of this right now. You can catch it on Instagram at Watch Later Pod.
I actually said nothing.
I know, you're just mouthing it. We also now have YouTube. So if you want to go to YouTube, I'll Watch It Later podcast. You can see all of our bright, shiny faces. Just don't do the snack show where Eric gets disgusted by personal hygiene issues.
Well, that is a problem with your show and your personnel over there. And I will say this to you, my friend.
You stink. You need a new career. This is horrible. This is not going to work out well for you. You will never be able to live this down, I'm afraid.
I just love how Tukey just sounds like he's running out of breath.
Because he probably is. He's not used to doing it for long stretches of time. For me and the show, it's Eric Nagel across the board on all the social medias, so follow us there and do us a kindness. I'll get to that in a second. If you're listening to us on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to us on demand at another place and time of your choosing, do us a kindness there and go over and leave a positive review if you haven't already. 5 stars, whatever they do. Something nice for us. It does help out the program. We will be your bestest friends forever and ever. If you do all that, and if you had a podcast, we would probably do that for you if you told us what your podcast was. We're not mind readers, but we're telling you directly, go over there and do that kindness for us. If you want to join us live each and every week as we do the show, come over to our live rooms on Twitch, on YouTube, all under It's Eric Nagel. Like, subscribe, follow, notifications, all the stuff that they tell you that you got to do so that you know when we're on, when new videos drop and what have you. Look at me using terminologies like drop. We need to get out of here. I am tired. I think that is it, right? We're done. We've covered everything.
Finger on the youth pulse.
Yeah. Fingers around the neck of the youth. That's another issue for another time. All right. We do need to get out of here. So until the next time, everybody,
be excellent to each other.
And we'll be seeing you.
It's Eric Nagel.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.